Hey there, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Freeman Motorsports. Thanks to everybody tuning in on this wonderful Sunday afternoon. If you're like me, you might have thought this race was at 7 o'clock tonight, but no, this isn't the Bristol night race. This is the Bristol spring race, happens in the middle of the day, and we are about to be bringing you 500 laps of action. The stage is split up 125, and the final stage being 250 laps. Only during that final stage will these guys potentially have to hit pit road for a green flag stop. Otherwise, they should be able to make it clean without having to come down pit road. But that pit road stop under green could end up being crucial if it comes down to it in the final stage. Currently, though, going through the opening ceremonies, given the command and the command to start engines will be coming soon. But we got 36 cars entered in today's race, all vying for one trophy and one guaranteed spot in the playoffs. A lot of contenders at the front of the field. Drivers hoping to get it done for the first time here at Bristol, or some people looking to get their second, third, fourth, maybe fifth NASCAR Cup Series win just at Bristol. Kyle Busch always a contender here. Obviously, he's swept the weekend before, and this is not going to happen this year as he lost the truck race last night to Christian Eckes in a valiant effort. But we'll go through your starting order here pretty soon. Starting on the pole, Ryan Blaney, who's always had speed here. And personally, I'm not picking him to win because it just seems like he's always fast, but something either of his own doing, usually not. But, he gets taken out in some sort of mess when he's in the lead or near the front of the field. So I think it's just Ryan Blaney doesn't seem to have the luck here. Maybe today will be his day, but we'll find out. And then a really strong qualifying run starting on the outside rope. The number 4 of Josh Berry. There hasn't been much noise out of that 4 team so far this year. I think we need to kind of cut him a break. Obviously, he's got big shoes to fill coming in, replacing Kevin Harvick. But now that he's back, or in that car in the 4, or at the, I believe, 5th race in the season now, I think there's a pretty high standard from what we should expect from that 4 team. And it looks like they're trying to deliver now as he's starting second in today's race. A top 10, just running the top 10 all today, getting those laps would be critical, especially because, it seems like Stuart Haas, to me, has taken a slight step forward over this start of this season. Maybe it's the drivers more than the equipment change, but Noah Gragson, he's shown pace just about every week, top 15, top 10. And then Chase Briscoe's also been wavering around that top 15, top 10. Josh Berry, Ryan Parise really haven't entered that zone yet. But if you can have 2-3 Stuart Haas cars potentially running top 10, top 15 on a weekly basis, that'd be an upgrade from just having one last year. So, anyways, on row 2, Denny Hamlin, another driver that's always good here at Bristol. Obviously won the last time we were here to the boos of the crowd. So I think he's trying to go back-to-back at Bristol and, get his first win of the season. That'd be great for him. Trying to impress his new partners on the car today, Express Oil Change. I believe that's just a sub-part of the Mavis Discount Tire overall brand, but still, a win is a win, and that's good for new sponsors. It seems FedEx is leaving the sport more and more each year. Then to his outside, another driver that's fast at Bristol, Joey Logano in the 22. He's been off to a really rough start this year, been crashed out, I believe, in 3 of the 5 races so far. So he's just trying to get some points today. Hopefully something doesn't go wrong for him if you're a Logano fan. On row 3, Chase Elliott, another driver that's been off to kind of a quiet start here in 2024, trying to get the ball rolling in the typical Chase Elliott direction. He is starting 5th. He's had success here and won at Bristol before, so trying to return to victory lane here today. And then to his outside, the 14 of Chase Briscoe, I already mentioned. He hasn't had the strongest of runs, but he's been around the top 10 a fair amount throughout this season. He had a pretty good run last weekend at Phoenix, trying to back that up here at Bristol and just build consistent runs for that 14 team. As it seems he's supposed to be that leader at Stuart Haas camp, but really it's a wide open race this year. If Gragson, Berry, or Parise could all just kind of step up and take that top spot at Stuart Haas. In row 4, the number 34 of Michael McDowell, who continues his hot start. Just start off 2024, another top 10 qualifying effort. Great to see from Front Row Motorsports. You can definitely see the boost they're getting from Ford and how that's affecting their qualifying pace and race pace overall. To his outside is the 24 of William Byron. In row 5, Bubba Wallace, also off to a pretty solid start here in 2024, but I think that's just going to be the new standard for Bubba Wallace and really 23XI as a whole. They're just hitting their stride. Tyler Reddick and Bubba have really been in the top 10, mixing up pretty much every race so far this season. And to his outside, Kyle Larson, a driver that has won here before and has always shown pace. Now, starting 10th, so not really that close to the front, but he could definitely make up the ground in a 500-lap race. I'm a Larson fan, if you guys did not know, so Thanks for tuning in. On row 6, we have Martin Truex Jr. and Christopher Bell, two strong Toyotas. Bell is one of the favorites to win today. He won on the dirt a year ago. He won last weekend in Phoenix, trying to go back-to-back for the first time in his career. On row 7, we have Harrison Burton and Kyle Busch. Kyle Busch is a driver that we know has gotten it done here many a time with his weekend sweeps in the past. He's got a few cars to pass to get to the front this time around. In row number 8, the 43 of Eric Jones and the 71 of Zane Smith. In row number 9, the 6 of Brad Keselowski and the 7 of Corey LaJoie. Then in row 10, the 54 of Ty Gibbs and the 31 of Daniel Hemrick. I think that 54 is a sleeper to work his way towards the front during this race. In row 11, Austin Cindric and Noah Gragson. In row 12, we have Tyler Reddick, who qualified a little worse than I would expect from him, but I think that 45 car is going to go forward, not backwards. And then to his outside, the 38 of Todd Gilliland. In row 13, Ryan Preece and John Nemechek. In row 14, Ricky Stenhouse Jr. and Daniel Suarez. Row 15, Alex Bowman, who really just needs some momentum right now. He is not showing many great signs so far in this season. To his outside, the 16 of AJ Allmendinger. In row 16, another driver who's just not had anything go right so far this year, the 3 of Austin Dillon. And then to his outside, the 51 of Justin Haley. In row 17, the 15 of Kaz Gralla and the 17 of Chris Buescher. And rounding out your field on row 18, the 77 of Carson Hocevar and the 1 of Ross Chastain. Well, Bristol seems to never disappoint. We've had a lot of different interesting things going on with the resin and how they're handling that. The truck race showed some promise yesterday. This is on Elliott Stronger's track, so you think he's got a chance? Yeah, no, today, if Elliott wins today, that would be huge for him, really kind of re-solidify him in the top driver debate. Right now, it's just ever since the injury, missing the playoffs, he's still, regarded highly, but he hasn't seen victory lane, and really we haven't seen that any levels of dominance out of Chase like we would have seen in 2020 or 2021. So Chase Elliott really needs a new performance to kind of bring him back into that conversation of being one of the top dogs in NASCAR. But yeah, thanks to everybody tuning in. Appreciate it if you vote in the chat on who you think is going to win today. We got 4 drivers to pick from: Hamlin, Larson, Bell, and Byron. Yeah, let me know just who you think outright is going to win if it's not one of those 4 drivers listed in the poll. Yeah, so stage 1, 125 laps, stage 2, 125, and the final stage, 250. It's always that final stage where you usually encounter a lot of lap traffic, and we'll see who can negotiate that lap traffic back to the resin. That will play a key factor in working lap traffic. At first, the track, since they reapplied resin this morning, it's definitely going to be a bottom-feeding track, but the tire has been a really interesting storyline throughout this whole weekend. The tire, Goodyear spent a lot of time in building a soft tire that's constantly changing, and so that could definitely affect today's race in the back-and-forth battle that's going to be occurring throughout. But the resin we saw in the truck race only 250 laps, so half the distance of the Cup race, and the resin was already worn off, I would say, at about the lap 150 mark. So definitely before the race is over, you're going to see 2-wide racing throughout the field, and probably the high line might switch over to being the dominant line as the day goes on, which for me, I know that's kind of debated. I know there's a lot of people that like a Bristol that's mainly bottom feeding, but I really like being able to run the top, run the bottom, just having multiple different options to negotiate lap traffic. It's so entertaining to see these guys having to knife their way through 3-wide and 2-wide lap traffic battles. It adds this whole other skill level to the race itself. Honestly, similar to what you see in like sports car racing when you have the leaders, in the prototype class coming up on the slower GTD cars and having to knife their way through that rush hour traffic. Yeah, green flag will hopefully be coming up here pretty soon. When it comes down to my picks for today's race, Larson I think will be a contender. I'm going to, I should just start like this. I'm going to give you guys the basic Larson breakdown as a Larson fan with all the Larson bias in the world. I think Larson's going to have a solid day today. Bristol's obviously one of his better tracks, and I think it's probably his favorite or one of, if not his best tracks. It just, things don't seem to work out for him. So I don't think he's going to get the win today. I think he'll be a top 5, top 10 car and probably lead a decent amount of laps at some point in this race. But Ryan Blaney is definitely going to be a contender throughout. It's really, I think this could be Blaney's race to lose, in my opinion. He's just so fast here at the spring race, specifically on pavement. If you recall back before we put dirt down on this racetrack, just something maybe about the time of year and the weather and the condition of the track itself just fits his driving style just that little bit more. So Ryan Blaney, I think, will definitely be a contender to win. It's just a matter of if something goes wrong and if he can overcome it. But my actual, just outright, overall pick to win today is going to be Denny Hamlin. I'm not necessarily a Hamlin fan or a Hamlin hater. I just think Hamlin, he's got the confidence. This is his type of track. I mean, he's the last guy that won here when we were on the concrete in the fall. So Denny Hamlin's probably my pick to win outright. Some underdogs to keep an eye on. Chase Briscoe obviously starting near the front. I think he'll be a contender. Josh Berry starting on the front row, obviously. Those are some underdogs. If you consider Ty Gibbs an underdog still, I think he definitely has an outside shot of getting his first career win day. He's had pace at Bristol last year, so that's another car to keep an eye on. And then a driver coming from the rear, Ross Chastain and Carson Osevar, both those guys on the final row. They were really pushing it hard in qualifying, trying to get that extra lap time out, and just things did not work out for them, pushed it over the limit, and so they're coming from the back to the front, but do not count them out by any means. I think Ross Chastain and Carson Osevar definitely will be threats for the top 10 at some point today. The 77 has shown great pace in pretty much every race since the start of the year. Now, on the flip side, his teammate and fellow Rookie of the Year contender, Zane Smith, is really yet to have a performance this season that kind of edifies him, so defines himself in that battle for Rookie of the Year, and just kind of, he hasn't really solidified his presence on the Cup Series stage just yet. Now, today, he's the highest qualifying Spire car, rolling off from the 16th position. So I think Zane Smith, if he can work his way forward a little bit, potentially have a top 10 run today, that could do very well for him and where his season's going to go on from here. Yesterday, he raced in the truck race. I believe he ended up coming home third, worked his way forward, had a solid truck. That definitely probably gave him a bit of a confidence boost going into today. He was right around Kyle Busch in that truck race, and he's starting off right behind him in the Cup race. So he's going to be trying to follow that 8 car to the front, I would imagine. And they have pulled the cars out of pit road onto the racetrack. Looks like they have to stop them because there's so many cars that they have to wait to get out of the pit lane. I think I'm confused. I've never seen this before. Yeah, thanks to everybody tuning in this Sunday afternoon. 500 laps in this race today. Always one to look forward to when we come to Bristol. Now, another thing you could ask, or you could say in the chat, you prefer concrete Bristol or do you prefer dirt Bristol? I guess as the spring race, I should specify. Because obviously I think concrete Bristol's better, but having that dirt race on the schedule, do you guys like having a dirt race on the schedule? Yes or no? You can tune me into that in the chat. I'd appreciate it. And just so you know, my fantasy lineup for today, if you are in the Freeman Motorsports Fantasy League, I have Hamlin, Briscoe, Elliott, Larson, Byron, and Blaney is my garage driver, but I'm going to end up subbing him in at some point. Doesn't really matter that he's in the garage right now. We'll see what happens. So I have him in the garage because he tends to get unlucky. So if that ends up being the case, we kind of avoid it for the short time being. Start him in the garage. Interesting stat here on Larson, 8 top 10s in his last 9 Bristol races, plus that win from 2022, or 2021 actually, in that epic battle with Kevin Harvick and Chase Elliott down the stretch. Man, Bristol just has delivered so many amazing races over the years, you can't deny it. Hopefully I can get out to one of the Bristol races over the next few years. You guys in the chat and the poll, you guys, the majority of you think Kyle Larson's going to win for the time being. All right, so some more drivers to keep an eye on, storylines to keep in mind. Excuse me. Joey Logano and Austin Dillon, Brad Keselowski, all 3 of those drivers Brad Keselowski kind of broke this streak a little bit last week, coming home in third place at Phoenix, but they have struggled to just get to the finish line. Not necessarily even of their own doing, but just getting taken out in crashes. So they find themselves far below the cut line, especially Logano. He's somebody that you usually think of as a perennial championship contender, at least on an even year basis. And he is way below the cut line right now, because I believe he's only finished one race this season, or maybe two races this season. But he's just been taken out in crashes at Daytona, Atlanta, Phoenix. He got some damage, right? He got taken out in Phoenix by Nemechek. So Logano is just trying to get to the end of these races and collect some points to try and get himself out of this hole in the points. I mean, yes, it's still early on in the season. It's just the middle of March, but you just don't want to find yourself behind the 8 ball. And we are, already 5 races into the year. You're hopefully, still in that playoff hunt. Now, if we do look a little more at the championship points, hold on. Where is... Okay, we're chilling. If we look a little more at the championship standings right now, when it comes to where that playoff cut line is currently, the last driver in coming to today is the 17 of Chris Buescher. Ahead of him is Austin Cindric, and then Bubba Wallace and Alex Bowman. Those are the guys just above the cut line. And then below it currently is Michael McDowell, Eric Jones, Chase Briscoe, Ricky Stenhouse Jr., Nemechek. So those are the first guys below. And, a few names in there that you would expect to probably make the playoffs, at least based off how they were last year. Michael McDowell, he was in the playoffs last year. And I think based off how he's running early on in this year, he definitely can make another run in this year's playoffs. But more notable drivers below the cut line. Brad Keselowski all the way down in 22nd. And where's Joey Logano? He might even be for Joey Logano's all the way down in 30th in points. He is behind Justin Haley, to give you some perspective, in the Rick Ware car. And in terms of the points between him and that 16th place driver, he is 35 points behind the cut line currently. So Joey Logano, he can't even really see himself above the cut line. Out of today, it's going to be a long journey back to being in that playoff battle. But Logano's got, hopefully he'll win, or you'd expect Logano to win. But right now, in a hole to start the year. Also, Josh Berry off to a rough start. He's down in 31st. Austin Dillon, 32nd in points. Zane Smith, 33rd. Kaz Grall's got Ryan Preece, they had that 35-point penalty, so that kind of skews the numbers a little bit. But he is the lowest of the full-time drivers right now, all the way down in 35th. Thanks to everybody watching. Let me know in the chat who you think is going to win before we get the green flag. Wrapping up the opening pace laps right now. Ryan Blaney will lead the field to green. He's looking to finally seal the deal here at Bristol. To his outside, to his inside actually. So Ryan Blaney has chosen the outside line. We saw that work in the Truck Series on most of the restarts. Outside was the preferred line. To his inside's Josh Berry. And here we go, off of turn number 4. And the green flag is out for the Food City 500 at Bristol. And Blaney able to cover off Josh Berry, ducking down low quickly. But here comes his teammate, Joey Logano, to the outside. Almost got to his corner panel there with such a run on the high side. Oh, Blaney's going to get up the racetrack in 3 and 4. That's going to allow Josh Berry to get back to his inside. Blaney will lead lap number 1, but Berry is on that left rear of the 12. Oh, they're going to touch a bit here through 1 and 2. Josh Berry knows track position is critical here. If you get this opportunity to take the lead this early on, you want to just pounce on it. You do not want to lay back, even on lap number 2. I think give that lap to Josh Berry just barely. Berry's got the inside, so I think he'll be able to clear Blaney, but Blaney is holding tough on the outside, that's for sure. Blaney's holding on the outside. They've both driven away from Logano and Briscoe, who are battling for second. Speaking of Briscoe, he might clear Logano for third here. He's made a few spots up. He started 6th. He might be to 3rd in the opening laps. And now Berry is clear of Blaney. Hamlin pushing Briscoe through the inside of Logano. And now you see that inside line is the place to be. Everybody's gotten down single file pretty much. And you are now stuck on the outside looking for a place to get in like it's Martinsville. Logano, I think, might find a hole in line ahead of McDowell. No, not quite. McDowell fills the hole. Byron also stuck on that high side for the time being. He's probably going to find a hole behind Truex here, it looks like, unless his teammate fills it. Yeah, Larson's going to fill that hole to the inside of Byron, not let him down yet. Logano also still going backwards as he's now getting passed by Bubba Wallace and Martin Truex Jr. Man, this almost looks like Martinsville. Like I already said that, but just everybody is just being freight trained. Not near as bad as when you're stuck on the outside at Martinsville, but still, you just are trying to get down. And Byron's going to slam his way in front of the 21 of Harrison Burton, and Logano found himself a hole in front of Larson in the 10th position. Or actually, no, in the 9th position. Meanwhile, Barry pulling away by half a second over Ryan Blaney, and then it's another second and a half back to Chase Briscoe in third. Now, lap traffic, that will be one of the deciding factors and a key story throughout the whole day. Lap traffic will probably be a factor in the next 10 laps. Already big movers from the start. Buescher's up 6 spots. Hocevar up 5 as well. Tyler Reddick also up from 24th to 20th in the opening laps here. And Byron still, I think, stuck losing spots. He's all the way back to 15th after starting 8th. Bowman's up to 25th after starting 29th. Yeah, Logano is really struggling for the handling on that race car now. Larson got by him, and he's getting shunts from Bell and pretty much everybody behind him. Ooh, Buescher's going to sneak it into the inside of Gragson. Gragson tried to close the door, but Buescher just had his nose in there. That was really tight. That's another spot for Buescher, though. Now he's up 7 spots. Keselowski, though, is somebody that's been making this outside line work. We have really not seen that. The outside line looks to be where people have gone backwards, but now Keselowski passing Bell and Burton using the outside. Obviously, the outside line will develop as the day goes on and potentially become the place to be, but I don't think anybody saw that being the case within the first 14 laps. Oh, here we go. Hamlin going around the outside of Briscoe now for third. Now, keep in mind, they're not running up against the wall like we've seen. They're running just basically 1 car length up the racetrack, just enough to get to the outside. Nothing more. And now we got Elliott going around the outside of Briscoe. 15 laps in now. Barry is out front by half a second still, then Hamlin 2 seconds back in third. And now Bubba's going to cut to the inside of Briscoe. Oh, he's going to wash up the track. They're both going to lose a decent amount of time from that. Bubba will now have the inside through 3 and 4. And yeah, this 14 is just falling off a cliff all of a sudden. Already, though, it looks like a very dynamic track. A bunch of different lines opening up, different opportunities for drivers to take. And now Byron trying to use that outside line to go back forward, it looks like. Working against Christopher Bell for the 15th or the 14th position. And yeah, he's going to get that spot from Bell. I don't think anybody really knows that the inside or the outside is the fastest line on the racetrack right now, which that makes this all the more entertaining for us, the viewer. Ty Gibbs now trying to go around Christopher Bell's teammate with the outside line, and that Sirius XM paint scheme looking really sharp. We got a battle for second place. Actually, not even a battle. Denny Hamlin just took that position right away from Ryan Blaney, and he is chasing down Josh Berry. That 11, my pick to win today, already moving forward up to second place, and he is hunting down Josh Berry. And without the aid of lap traffic, just raw pace, the 11 is flying up on these guys. With the new tire compound, different teams are going to guess it right and different teams are going to guess it wrong. And that applies to the short run speed and the long run speed. Ooh, Byron up the racetrack. Into the wall, no yellow flag. We'll see if that's a broken toe link, though. And Hamlin is just past Berry for the lead while that happened, and he is driving away quickly. And Byron is damaged. I don't know if that's the wrap peeling off the race car or if that's something from the wall. And it looks like he's trying to get to pit road. That car is wounded. Oh, it looks like Logano or somebody got into him, pushed him up the racetrack there, 3 wide. Broken toe for William Byron, and this is going to end his day. What's the yellow flag? What's the yellow flag? Okay, toe links broke on the 24. His day is done because even, it takes a while to repair a toe link in general. Maybe going around a big track like Daytona, you might lose 1 or 2 laps. Bristol, you're going to lose like 5 or 6. Under yellow, even. They're going to work on that 24, though, as quick as they can, try and repair that right rear toe link. Now, I'm not sure what the call is going to be here in terms of who pits and who doesn't. Um, it looks like Blaney Screw's ready to pit him, but I would maybe stay out here. Track position is pretty worth it when it comes to Bristol, so I think it might be worth the gamble. Even if it's, I don't even know if I'd say it's a gamble, but I think I'd probably stay out here because you don't have to pit here to make it to the end of the stage. Thanks to everyone watching right now. That Sammer guy, you need Elliott to win after the disaster that was the Tar Heel game last night. Sorry about that. But hey, March Madness around the corner, and I love some college basketball occasionally. That Sammer guy, none on the pole. I mean, I'm gonna have to rearrange the pole already because Byron's taken out of the competition, and we have hardly even started. Who wins at Bristol? Who wins? We'll say Hamlin, obviously, and he was my pick to win just outright. He's already gone up and gotten the lead and driven off. We'll add Elliott because he's moved forward. We had Bell in there before. We'll add Blaney in and Larson. Here we go. Everybody's coming down pit road. Wow. Okay. Nope. I take it back. Tyler Reddick stays out. I think that's worth it. He might get eaten alive because he's only won this time, but track position, I mean, Reddick was running down around 20th before, and now he's going to leapfrog all the way to the lead. Oh, I saw that Kent State loss. That was pretty bad. Are you from Northeast Ohio? Well, I'm currently in Western PA, near Sharon, Ohio, just across the border. Whew. All right, thanks to everybody watching right now. Make sure you drop a like and subscribe if you haven't already. Oh! Bubba Wallace might have hit Blaney's picker right there. That could be a penalty. We'll have to see how this goes. I need to see a replay. I don't know what happened there. But it's Barry, Bubba, Elliott when it comes to the race off pit road. And I wasn't paying attention. I lost track. I don't know if people took 2 or 4 tires there. I bet you some people decided to take 2 tires, and that's why maybe it's. We'll see here on the leaderboard. That'll help us clarify things where the running order is. Okay. Yeah, so it's Reddick, Barry, Bubba, Elliott, Truex, McDowell, Hamlin, Gibbs, Blaney, Briscoe, Larson. I can actually, based off that, I don't think anybody took 2 tires. Just that seems like reasonable oscillation in terms of position. I'm sure if I missed it, the broadcast will restate it and inform me again. Okay, I haven't heard of Alliance. I mean, I'm not really from here. I'm just here for school, but I'm sure I'll end up hearing about it at some point. Yeah, thanks to everyone watching so far. Yeah, now the running order, though, is Reddick, Barry, Wallace, Elliott, Truex, your top 5, McDowell, Hamlin, Gibbs, Blaney, Briscoe, your top 10 after pit stops, and Larson, Keselowski, Burton, Bowman, Bell, your top 15. Okay, it definitely looks like Bowman took 2 tires because he went from like 25th to 14th. Same could be said for, I think, maybe for Ty Gibbs. It seems like there's some mixed strategy. It'd be nice if they showed who took, like, in terms of the time here, if they added a stat on like what the amount of tires or whatever they got under their last time on pit road. Okay, you can tell here by their last pit time. So Barry took 2 tires, so did McDowell. So I'm kind of assuming all those guys up ahead of him took 2 tires. Then Hamlin took 4 and ended up sacrificing the lead and dropping all the way back to 7th. So we'll see if that ends up being the right decision here. But definitely a whole mixed bag of 2-tire and 4-tire stops here. So definitely something to keep an eye on throughout this race and on this restart. which seems to be the move. 0 tires, 2 tires, no tires. Or 0 tires, 2 tires, or 4 tires, if I can count. Thanks for everybody watching. Make sure to vote in the chat on who you think is going to win here at Bristol. Okay, 30 laps complete now under yellow. And we're going to be getting the green flag this next time by. Here we go. Eric Jones with the penalty on pit road. He'll have to drop to the rear. But here we go. Tyler Reddick on the outside with no tires. Josh Bear on the inside with 2 tires. Green flag back in the air. Reddick actually gets a pretty good launch and a push from his teammate Bubba Wallace on the outside. Bubba trying to follow him around the outside of the 4-car here. Down the back straightaway. That 45 still looks pretty swirly. Ooh, and we're 3 wide there. Gibbs got around his teammate Truex. Oh, and Reddick spinning on no tires. Oh, everybody's going to check up and try to avoid, and it looks like they will. Oh, Zane Smith is going to go to the inside and just take him out. Oh, man. It looked like it might have been okay if Zane Smith didn't just ARCA brake. Oh, bro. ARCA brakes galore. And did Carson Oswar also have an ARCA brake experience? Of course, the 2 rookies. Oh, my goodness. I think that's it for Reddick and maybe even Zane Smith. Oh, boy. Just no tires there on the 45. Almost just lost it entirely there. Just gets run over. And then spins across the inside, banks off a few cars, and Zane Smith thought he would just clear going all the way down low. And it looked good until it didn't. I don't really know what oh, wow, there was a bunch of spinning at the back there. The 731, the 77, they all went spinning. But minute damage for all of them, I would say. You know, they're spinning at like 50 miles an hour. Yeah, Zane Smith and Tyler Reddick, I think, are actually probably both done. Man, that's a tough break for both those guys. But really, not really for Zane Smith. That was kind of a dumb move. He's going to be majorly regretting that. And Reddick is probably going to say something in his post-race interview like, what a moron in that 71 car for just taking me out. Because honestly, yes, you go to the inside because there's nobody there. Like, you can kind of think you're avoiding the wreck. But at Bristol, almost all the time when there's a crash on the straightaway, everybody drifts down the banking. And, yeah, so I don't know what I'm thinking there with Zane Smith. Definitely an ARCA brake moment right there. We'll see if Reddick even was able to get it refired. Oh, William Byron, 6 laps down. I forgot. Yeah, so he, from that toe link, if you're just tuning in, broken toe link for Byron, that brought out our previous caution. It looks like Allmendinger might have gotten a decent amount of damage out of this, though, because it shows he's a lap down. Another team really struggling so far this year. Colic. I don't even know what to say. I really don't. Their Xfinity program's still solid all around, like competitive. I think you're going to have SVG, AJ both make the playoffs. Right now, Josh Williams had a really rough start to the year, but I wouldn't rule it out for him either. But on the Cup level, I mean, they've just completely just brought nothing to the track so far this season. I mean, they've been down there with the Rick Ware racing cars pretty much every week. So very concerning if you're invested in Colleague or, you know, what I don't know where that team's heading directionally. They said they weren't interested in selling a charter for the next like 2 years or something. But I mean, I think those 2 charters have all of a sudden popped up as 2 very potential ones that would be up for grabs if you're trying to, you know, purchase another charter, expand your team, or open a team. So we'll see what happens there. Now, Colleague doesn't really strike me as like the type of team to give up here, but yeah, really rough start to the season for them. I mean, their driver lineup having Daniel Hemrick as your one full-time driver, I don't really know what you'd expect from that anyways, but yeah, yikes. Oh, yeah. Well, Chase was able to avoid that wreck that time, so if you're a Chase fan, you're like, whew, made it out alive. But that'll jump up the order a bit. And it definitely looks like no tires is not the move unless you're doing it with like your buddies, and you're not going to get ran over because Tyler Reddick just got ran over off of turn 4. I mean, now it's Wallace. So, I mean, 123XI car sacrificed for another 23XI car to lead. And it looks like they're going to have the 45 get back out on the racetrack. They're taping him up, but he's probably going to be at least a few laps down. All the drivers involved, all the Collard cars and the Spire cars. So Corler Joy, Zane Smith, excuse me, Tyler Reddick, Daniel Hemrick, AJ Allmendinger, and Carson Hocevar. But the only one's bad damage. Apparently, Tyler Reddick, I thought Zane Smith, but he's still on the lead lap. AJ Allmendinger did lose a lap through all that, though, trying to repair the damage to his car. Shame because he's got that Mountain Dew and Cheetos scheme this weekend. See what happens with that ginger. I feel confident in my picks. Nobody's crashed yet. I think. Hold on. I have to check again now. All of a sudden, I don't feel as confident saying that. Okay, yeah. Oh, no, I do have Byron. Oh, shoot. Okay, well, Byron's out and Blaney's in. I was probably going to make that move anyway, so here we go. Green flag coming out next time by. So, we'll see how quickly the 4 fresh tires overtake the guys on 2 tires. On row 3 of Hamlin and Blaney that are going to be trying to knife through these guys. Hamlin, the leader before all these cautions. Here we go. 38 laps complete in stage number 1. Green flag back out. And once again, the outside line. A good restart. But Bubba will clear off of turn 2. That was probably the closest battle for the lead we've seen off of turn 2 so far. Man, that outside line is where you want to be right now. On the restart. Then those first few laps, you're trying to just get down, ride the bottom. The outside line takes a few laps to come in, I would say. Hamlin trying to clear Elliott for 4th on the outside line. Ooh, and Bubba's going to get nosed up the racetrack there by Josh Berry. Josh Berry back to the point. McDowell's coming through on the inside as well. Ford supremacy right now. But from the 2 teams you probably would have expected the least, Stuart Haas and Front Row. And McDowell's got the inside on Bubba. Still hasn't cleared him yet, but just inching further and further ahead as they battle, though Denny Hamlin, who cleared Elliott for 4th, is just caught right up to him. How about Josh Berry, though? A great start for the team so far. It was like quite a few laps early on. Definitely his best performance so far in his Cup career. And Bubba's actually going to be able to hold off McDowell on the inside. That's the first time I think we've seen somebody essentially get past and then kind of be able to re-overtake. And Hamlin's going to pop to the outside of McDowell. And yeah, there you go. So we're about 5 laps in since the restart, and the outside line is warmed up now. Those first 2 laps, you're trying to just mow the bottom as best you can. But a few laps, and then it gets a little more heat in it, and you're good. Thanks to everybody watching right now. Hamlin, it definitely seems to be the fastest car on the racetrack right now, but he is in 3rd, and he's got to chase down Bubba Wallace and Josh Berry 1st. And Berry got by Bubba a few laps ago, but now it looks like that 23 car has come back to life. And further back, everybody's really riding the bottom right now, except for Chase Briscoe's on the outside of Brad Keselowski for 8th. Oh, McDowell. Oh, boy. He's got a bit of a shot in the back. And here we go. Bubba is going back to the outside of Josh Berry. This is for the lead. And is he going to clear him this time off turn 4? Yes, he will. Bubba Wallace is your leader once again. Now Denny Hamlin popping to the outside of Josh Berry, and he's going to be bringing Ryan Blaney with them as they're both going to fly up into 2nd and 3rd. But now you see Bubba Wallace running up just above that resin, willingly. At least he did in 3 and 4. And 1 and 2, he's going to go back to the bottom. And Josh Berry has just lost it now on the 2 tires. The 2 tires have just died on the 4 car. And Elliott is going around him on the tap side now. But McDowell is really fading. It felt like just a second ago he was battling for the lead in 3rd place. He's already dropped back to 9th. Ooh, boy, he really just pinched Keselowski down there in 1 and 2. Very entertaining racing so far, definitely. Okay, Bubba's really holding up to Hamlin right now. We haven't seen any lap traffic yet. We have not had a long enough green flag run. And it looks like Bubba's going to be able to hold off Hamlin another lap. And McDowell's been shuffled all the way outside of the top 10 now. It seems like 2 tires is working for some people and not for others. Like Josh Berry just fell off a cliff, back to 10th now. Larson's gone by him for 8th. And Hamlin's finally going to get the run to the outside of Bubba. And he is going to head back to the lead. And he'll clear him there off of turn 2. Ryan Blaney's going to want to try and make quick work of Bubba as well, so he can go back and chase down Hamlin, who seems to be his biggest competitor for the win at this point in the going. Further back, Keselowski going around Briscoe for 6th position. Man, further back in the pack, a lot of these guys on 2 tires getting just ran over by the guys on 4 tires. Larson looking to the inside of Briscoe. I don't think that's going to work there. A driver I haven't spoken about yet, Kyle Busch, is entered for the top 10 for the first time today. A guy that's won plenty of times here at Bristol. And here we go, Blaney to the inside of Hamlin. And Elliott is right there in his rear view. Bubba's now getting shuffled out. Keselowski's going to his inside. That's for 4th. And all the different lanes that are being used. Impressive to watch from inside the top 10. I mean, the top 10 still separated by just 1.2 seconds, and we are 15 laps from the green flag. Now, Elliott to the outside of Blaney after Blaney got held up by Hamlin there for a little bit. We just have not seen a leader be able to drive away from the pack yet. And Elliott's going to get around Blaney for 2nd place. And now he's going to look for more. He's going to the outside of Hamlin for the lead. I have no idea which lane is the preferred lane right now. Like, I mean, people are making moves on the outside, but as soon as they're getting to the lead, they're going to the bottom, but then they're getting passed. And Chase Elliott's going to take the lead with 64 to go in stage 1. But I think partially because you have some of these guys on mixed tire strategies, it's kind of just keeps boxing up the leaders. Oh, no, they're cutting to commercial just when it's getting great at the front. Oh. Well, looking at the leaderboard, it's Elliott, Blaney, Hamlin. Whoa, what just happened there? Are you kidding me? Seriously, you can't show me that camera? Anyways, it just shuffled Elliott from 1st to 4th in the last lap. So I wonder if something happened. The guys towards the rear of the field, 5 seconds off your leader, so lap traffic's still a ways away. Everybody is just totally guessing on the tire compound right now. I think we're going to see a whole lot more coming and going before the end of this stage. We are only at the halfway point, basically, in stage number 1. So much entertainment has gone on so far already. I know, Jefferson. I hate commercials of the death of me. Bob Price, I think I just figured it out. Absolutely the biggest waste of time watching someone else watch the race. NASCAR has actually really just put access off Fans want All right. Okay. Let's go, Chase. Yeah. Appreciate that, Samurai guy. I know commercials, commercials, commercials. The bane of my existence. I can't ask her to do F. I know. Well, I don't really know how that stuff works. I'll be honest. I think it's because the streaming companies are willing to pay a fat enough of a paycheck that it just covers enough of the expenses. But also, F1's just such a different economic level than NASCAR. I mean, I love NASCAR. Don't get me wrong. I mean, the teams are dealing with hundreds of millions of dollars over there. So it's just the money object is, yes, it's a thing. Like they need the money to survive, but it's all getting supplied from mass manufacturers like Mercedes, Ferrari. I mean, they can easily throw away 100, $200 million when they're bringing in $1 billion in profit or something. Yeah, you're fine. Oh, and the yellow flag is back out. We'll figure out what that's for. Oh my gosh, another debris yellow. You kidding me? Anyways, Kyle Busch was able to get around Brian Blaney for the lead. It looks like a pit according to the telemetry. And then Hamlin's up in third, Elliott fourth, Keselowski rounds out the top five, then Larson, Wallace, Bell, Briscoe, Bowman. And then you have Nemechek, Gibbs, Buescher, Stenhouse, Cindric, your top 15. So back under the yellow flag here in Bristol. Really? Oh, wow. Big piece of debris, actually. Okay, so that's understandable. Front part of the front bumper off of Zane Smith. I have to imagine that's from damage when he crashed with Tyler Reddick on that spin down the front straightaway. Yeah, I mean, these guys only have 9 sets of tires, and you've already used 2, and we're at lap 72 on a 500. So on their current pace, if they pit here, you'll have used 3 sets within the first 100 laps, and you're going to run out of tires around lap 300. So I just don't think you can afford to take 4 tires here, unless you took maybe 2 tires on the last stop. But I say you see everybody stay out here with 54 to go in the state. Man, actually, I think nobody knows. Genuinely, nobody knows what the tire call should be. And we saw no tires work out bad for Reddick before, and 2 tires kind of worked for a bit on a short run and then just died. 4 tires are the most desirable, but you can't take 4 tires every time. We've already seen, like I just said, you're going to run out of tires if you do it. I think you're taking 2. You're taking 2 tires here. If you took 4, or if you took 2 last time, maybe you take 4. But you can't take more than 2 tires. So Busch, Blaney, Hamlin, Elliott, Keselowski, Larson, Wallace, Briscoe, Bell, Bowman, your top 10. Then Nemechek, Gibbs, Buescher, Stenhouse, Cindric, McDowell, Truex, Chastain, Berry, and Gilliland, your top 20. Yeah, those 2 tires, I mean, that killed Berry and McDowell. I mean, they were running top 5, and now they've been shuffled outside the top 15. And right now, this Bristol race is all about survival, not even trying to stay on the lead lap. It's been really back and forth so far. It looks like a few guys will stay out. I see Gregson. I see Harrison Burton. A.J. Allmendinger. He might be trying to get his lap back. Same thing with Tyler Reddick. Ooh, slow stop for the 5 here. Slow stop for the 5. They're going to do 4 tires again. Ooh, I do not like that. I do not like that. We're already using 2 sets in the first 100 laps. I guess their plan is probably going to go long, have some long green flag runs, which I think is pretty likely. But I don't like to bank on there being no yellows at a track like Bristol. You can bank on that at Phoenix, but okay. Race off of pit road will be won by Denny Hamlin. Then it's Blaney, Elliott, Kyle Busch, Keselowski, and Larson's going to lose at least 3 or 4 spots here. He's okay, 2 spots. Still critical. Kyle Busch goes down 3 spots from the lead to, oh boy, we have a log jam there at the end of pit road. Four wide there for a sec. Yeah, Kyle Busch went from 1st to 4th on pit road. That'll piss him off, but that's probably good if you're a Kyle Busch fan. You want him a little angry in the cockpit. The tire problems are here again. Yeah, I kind of like it though. Why can't NASCAR do that? Oh yeah, the track at Daytona are my favorites. Every street. What are you saying, Mike? What's that in relation to? I kind of don't understand. Jefferson question. Scuffs. The tire problems are here. Is there a cap on how many tires each team can use? Oh yeah, you every race there's a cap. Sometimes it comes into play, sometimes not. Tracks there's no tire wear like Daytona. Like they pit. I think some teams even only ran on like one set in like some of the lower series, so a shorter distance, so more bearable. But yeah. Yeah, so yeah, like exactly. Then scuffs is a concept. So maybe if you do burn through a lot of your sets early on, um, you maybe hopefully if you only ran 15 laps on a set or less, which the runs so far have been long enough where I don't think you'd reuse any of these tires. I don't think you really would have to either, but because 25, 30 laps, that's you've worn off a decent amount of tire life. But if it's like 10, if you had a sprint to the end of the stage or something, you might reuse those. It feels like Daytona with all these lead changes. Yeah, I would agree with that. I mean, this race has been a banger. The inside line seems to be the place to be for the first like 5 laps after the restart, then total flip 180. And then it's kind of the high side, kind of not. Like nobody knows. I just want to see us have like a 45, like 50 lap run finally. So maybe there's a little lap traffic, and maybe we can really see the tire fall off at the end of the run. And who has that long run car? There's 25 laps. That's not really long enough to see. I mean, that's not even hardly a long run at any track. Yeah, it is nuts so far. But the thing that's so great about Bristol is even if it's a long green flag run, it's still entertaining because of all the lap traffic. It's literally like, oh my god. Um. Anyways, I didn't even realize my roommate made a cameo on the stream there. Okay, yeah. So looking at the poll in the chat, most of you guys think Blaney to win right now. Then Hamlin, then Elliott and Larson are tied for votes. All right. And the wave round will go to so Harrison Burton and Noah Gregson. Oh, they were a lap down. I was not aware of this. Okay, so that's why they were staying out. Okay. AJ Allmendinger was the free pass. Harrison Burton, Noah Gregson, each 1 lap down. Reddick 2 laps down. Zane Smith 3 laps down, and William Byron 6 laps down. But it's Hamlin, Blaney, Elliott, Busch, your top 4 here. I don't think the right tires are going to last. I genuinely don't, based off what we're seeing in the race right now. Hamlin on the outside, Blaney on the inside. Hamlin, great launch. He's gone. Just left him in the dust. Chase Elliott to the outside of Blaney. Try and take that second spot away. Kyle Busch is clear for 4th. He's trying to get back to the lead that he lost on pit road. Keselowski using that high side, trying to work around Chase Briscoe for 5th. Top 4 currently single file, though. Those first few laps after the restart, people are really just, you're kind of stuck. The inside line's a little faster, but not a lot. Oh, it sounds like Chase Elliott's having some voltage issues in that race car right now. Oh, and Ryan Blaney to the inside of Denny Hamlin for the lead. 43 to go. Oh! I thought Hamlin might have gotten squeezed there. 42 to go, and that voltage issue for Elliott will certainly be something to keep an eye on. Harvick just said if that voltage is not able to recharge, period, then it will not make the race at this point in the run. Also, driver having a good run right now. I see Justin Haley in that Rick Ware card up in 17th. Short tracks are somewhat equalizers. Jefferson, you want Blaney to win. Well, he's just never had the luck in the spring race. We'll see if it finally works out for him. Kyle Busch to the inside of Chase Elliott for third place now. And Kyle Busch is going to clear him into turns 1 and 2. Bell to the inside of Briscoe. That's for 6th place. Man, that 71 of St. Smith is just so beat up, but it is still hanging in there. Here we go. Denny Hamlin coming back, battling for Blaney for the lead. It just seems like each car is like having mood swings every 5 laps. I have no idea who's leading at what point. It's a constant back and forth oscillation, and they're both going to go high in 1 and 2, and Kyle Busch just totally catches back up to him. Kyle Busch on the bumper of the 12 of Ryan Blaney down the front stretch. That's for 2nd place. Further back, Nemechek going by Bowman for 11th. I said we gotta wait another 3-4 laps, then we'll really see who's got a bit more of, I guess, a medium run car. Briscoe swinging to the outside of Bell. And Larson all over the bumper of Bell now. He can go high, but the problem is that Briscoe will be right there. It's not really a viable path to go forward right now. And speaking of that, though, Kyle Busch going around the outside of Blaney for 2nd. So it is for him. And Nemechek going by Bubba Wallace for 10th. That 42 car is moving forward. Another great point about this race so far, it's a short track, so aerodynamics don't really matter anything. But 3 different manufacturers inside the top 3. Hamlin, Busch, Blaney. Just constant back and forth. There is no dominant team or manufacturer. 30 to go in stage 1 now. Hamlin up by half a second over Kyle Busch. Then it's Blaney, Elliott, Keselowski, Briscoe, Bell, Gibbs, Larson, Nemechek, your top 5. Another driver struggling right now, Joey Logano. I saw him up to 16th, but that's the highest I've seen him today. Now he's dropping back to 19th as he's getting passed by Martin Truex Jr. Yeah, it's going. This is about to get taken down. Okay. Oh boy, we have a problem here. Got to just refresh that real quick. And there we got Ty Gibbs, Chase Briscoe, and Kyle Larson battling. This is in the back half of the top 10. That 54 is moving towards the front. And I just said that there doesn't seem to be a strong manufacturer, but if there had to be one, all the Toyotas are starting to make progress as the run goes on. Ooh, Larson really tight there through the center of the apex. He's probably getting a little aero tight underneath the 14 to Chase Briscoe right now. Nemechek right behind him, having probably his best run so far this season. We still haven't seen lap traffic be a factor in this race yet. I haven't had long enough of a run, but if this thing goes green to the end of stage 1, then definitely that'll play a role in who is able to get this stage victory here. Hamilton out front by half a second over Kyle Busch for now. Then Blaney, Elliott, Bell, your top 5. Keselowski, Gibbs, Larson, Briscoe, and Bowman, your top 10. And Gibbs, I just mentioned it now in the broad. Oh, Bell is going to throw a block on the 54. 54 running higher on the racetrack than most of the other cars right now. I think that groove's going to continue to widen out as the resin, known as the sticky stuff on the bottom of the racetrack, slowly wears out as the day goes on. But for now, when the run starts, if nobody's running at the top near the start, then the marbles will build up there, and then you do not want to run on the marbles. So maybe when they clear off that top groove of the racetrack, maybe during a stage yellow, then we'll see people maybe go all the way up to the wall like we used to see at Bristol back in the early 2010s. Josh Berry to the inside of Bubba Wallace. This is outside of the top 10. These guys trying to move their way forward a few more spots to get potential stage points. Eric Jones moving forward just like his teammate Jonathan Nemechek. Coincidence? I think not. Now Ty Gibbs trying to get to the inside of Chase Elliott. Elliott has the outside momentum to prevail for now. And as these guys are battling, they have just been gapped by the leaders, who are about 5 seconds clear of 5th place. Ooh, Josh Berry slow on the racetrack. It looks like he might have tagged the wall. Or tire down, they're saying on the broadcast. This is our longest green flag run of the day so far, and with this new soft tire compound, nobody knows if we're going to see a bunch of tire failures or not. I think the tires are going to be the story once we hit about lap 300, because people are just burning through sets right now, and they are not going to have enough at the current rate they're using them. Kyle Busch, though, battling Denny Hamlin for the lead. I think they'll encounter lap traffic probably in the next 5 laps. Ty Gibbs to the inside of Chase Elliott. He's been trying to pull off this pass for about 5 laps now and just cannot get enough momentum on the inside. Elliott is just holding down the outside as a defensive line. And Larson's going to swing around the outside of the 54. And now Larson's will take a crack at his teammate Elliott for the 5th position. Hamlin holding on by 7/10 over Kyle Busch. Then Blaney about 1.5 seconds back in 3rd. Bell 2.5 seconds back in 4th. And Larson finally clears his teammate Elliott, but man, Ty Gibbs cannot find a way by this 9 car. It definitely seems like Larson has a long-run car, which is typical of him historically at Bristol, but just with the way today is going, that might not want to be the type of car you have. It seems like we're just having short run. And now Gibbs has gotten by Elliott. Keselowski's also going to make the pass, and this 9 car is just dying here at the end of the stage. And Buescher's going by, and now he's about to lose a spot to his teammate. He's might lose stage points. 10 to go next time by in the stage, and whoa! Austin Dillon is really off the pace as they just flew by him. Another tough day for him. Briscoe's just falling off a cliff right now. Drop back to 18th. Oh, Kyle Busch has got a problem or something. Kyle Busch has got a problem. He's dropped back to 8th. Oh boy, Kyle Busch is just trying to nurse this flat right rear to the end of the stage. He is just sliding around the racetrack right now. I mean, he might go a lap down at the pace he's going. He went from 2nd, and all of a sudden he just overcooked it. And he's just trying to nurse this thing another 8 more laps. I don't even know if he can do that. See if it happens to another one here. Hamlin 6/10 ahead of Blaney for the time being. Oh, they might wreck here. Priest and Busch get together. 6 to go. I don't think Kyle Busch can even stay on the lead lap here. Oh boy, your leader's working their way through a bunch of lap traffic, and all of a sudden, Hamlin's lost the rear, and Blaine's just going to fly on by, as well as Gibbs and Larson. Oh boy, we got a great battle for the lead here. And Reddick's going to pinch Blaney, and Gibbs is going to go through to the lead, and he's bringing Larson with him. It's 5 to go in stage number 1. And people are just trying to survive. They're coming by Austin Cindric now. It looks like half the field all of a sudden is just burnt through their tires. 4 to go in stage number 1 now. I mean, Hamlin's already dropped back to 9th. I mean, just like that, these tires are just dying. I've never seen anything like this in my life. Going to be 3 to go in the stage this time by. Can you survive is really the question. And now Blaney's just falling off a cliff as well. Two to go this time by in stage number 1. Oh, Denny Hamlin's... Oh, Kyle Busch with a problem. It's that right rear. Hamlin also lost a tire. And Kyle Busch is just going backwards. He's saying, screw it. Kyle was just going back. We've seen this before on a Kyle Busch. And he's just going to ride it around backwards to the pit stall. He's gotten good at this at Bristol especially. So this is okay. The 11 loses a tire in turn 3. At the same time, Kyle Busch does. And Kyle Busch spins and he loses a lap. And Hamlin just goes up and gets on the wall slightly, but he should be okay in terms of damage. This is bad. This is not going to be good. Everybody's going to be on set number 4 on a 9, and we are at the 1/4 point, and we have almost used up half of our tires. And it's not even like you can just not take tires. We're seeing after like 40 laps, the tires are literally blowing. It is quite literally too soft of a compound. I don't think we've ever seen this from Goodyear before. I think if you're smart here, you just completely back off and try and preserve tire. I mean, at the rate they're going, if you are going to run out of tires at lap 300, I mean, nowhere near the final of the end of the race. At this point, you're just going to have to hope and pray. I mean, I don't even know if Goodyear has like enough sets that they bring in terms of extras to distribute that to the teams. I can't imagine they have more than like 2 sets per team extra. And 2 sets isn't even enough at the rate they're going. You would need like double the sets that you currently have to make it comfortably to the finish. I mean, they're blowing tires before they even catch the rear of the field, basically. Bristol's definitely produced some of the weirdest races in recent history. Yeah, nervous Ned, this is nuts. Yeah, what is going on? I have no idea. Gibbs out of nowhere. What happened to Busch? Chase Hall, I know, it's all of a sudden, it's just collapsing. I've never seen something like this in my life. Well, that's going to end stage 1, and the stage points will go to the stage win to Gibbs, then 9 to Larson, 8 to Buescher, some to Brad, Nemechek with a strong run there, Truex, Blaney, Preece all of a sudden in the top 10, Barry, Bell, then Logano, Stenhouse, Haley in 13th, Hamlin, Elliott, your top 15. Well, now I'm glad I did not put Busch in my fantasy lineup. Just escape that one. Mm-hmm. All right, the free pass, though, will go to Bubba Wallace in the 23. So that'll put him back on the lead lap. Yeah, if we take a glance at the live standings as they run, man. And right now, Kyle Busch currently holds the final playoff position over Bubba Wallace by 6 points. But obviously, that we still got a long way to go. That's going to change so much before this race is over. With 120, yeah, if we're only 1/4 into this race, and we have used 3 sets, going to be 4 sets of tires. I already said this repeatedly. It's just quite literally the tires are not going to last. Next to everybody watching right now. Just taking in these pit crew interviews. You know, these new pit crew segments this year definitely, I think, added a lot to the broadcast. I have no idea what to even do with the tires here. I don't know if you can baby the tires and make them last longer, but man, I mean, even Ty Gibbs ended up winning the stage. You can just see his right rear is just worn to a thread. If we can actually have a long green flag run without a yellow for accident, I'm just interested to see how long anybody can go, period. Ty Gibbs is going to be able to beat Larson off still. Now as we go down the other side of pit road. Larson might just pass Ty Gibbs straight up down pit road here. I wonder if he'll get a speeding penalty or if he's just pushing it that little hair more. Not too much change for position on pit road there. Everybody taking 4 tires. But yeah, just do the math. If you have to take 4 tires after 50 laps, if you have 9 sets of 4 tires and you can go 9 times 50, that means you could go 450 laps, I guess, which is very close to 500. But the problem is we're not going 50 laps. We're going like 35, which cannot get you near as far. Nice little crack in the back there. Yeah, all the teams, or pretty much all the teams, have used, I think, it depends. Sometimes the set they start on is considered a set because they've only qualified on it, and sometimes it's not. But either way, they have used, you have 1, 2, 3, because you started with 1, then you used the second on the first caution, then they used the third on the one of the next cautions, and they used a fourth at the stage break. So you've essentially used 4 on a 9, I believe. A few teams might have used 3. Do the math. Not going to work. That means if they did the same thing in stage 2, they will use 6 to 8 out of their 9 at only the halfway point in the race. I genuinely don't know how this is going to work out. What was it? I remember in one of the earliest Darlington races back in the 1950s, or the 60s, I can't remember, one of those, but Darlington was just a tire destroyer. With the banking it had in that time frame and just being that brand new asphalt, that just killed tires there. And teams are already allocated, I think, 15 sets for that 500-mile race, and it got so bad that the winning team ended up just going out and getting tires, off-road heavy-duty tires from their pickup truck and just taking them from a pickup truck and putting it on the car because the tire could just last longer. And that's hilarious. That might be the case today. I mean, this could be worse than the one Indianapolis race where they're having constant tire blowouts because they just simply don't think. I don't think they have enough tires to make it last to the finish, unless everybody decides to go just full tire save and run half a second off the pace. I am so interested in seeing how this plays out. I just don't know how they'll last. Well, now with the updated running order, it's Kyle Larson out front, Ty Gibbs in second, so they swapped the lead in second place on pit road. Then Keselowski, Blaney, Nemechek, your top 5. Buescher, Barry, Truex, Bell, and Preece, your top 10. And then Logano, Hamlin, Elliott, Stenhouse, Suarez, your top 15. Bowman, Jones, Gralla, Haley, Chastain, your top 20. Oh my goodness, yeah, they're showing the tires coming off these cars. They are just killed. I mean, if you did not blow a tire, you were laps away from blowing a tire. I just don't think they have any idea where this race is going to go. There's no winning strategy at this point. Yeah, this might be the first NASCAR race ever that doesn't have a winner. I mean, I'm sure they'll figure something out. Um, I just don't know what. And I think we'll be going green next time by. Yeah, we had discussed green flag pit stops here, but that won't even be the case. It seems like we're just going to get yellows before we ever get to pit road. Go with the Pirelli tire compound. I don't know. I think Goodyear took a swing here and missed this weekend. I think it's safe to say at this point. I mean, maybe we're speaking too soon. Maybe we're hating too fast. But I know at least I appreciate they tried to do something. They said it in the booth. Softer tires are better. When you have tire wear, when you have people trying to manage tires, it's better than a tire that never falls off and you can just go full challenge on the whole time because just lose kind of a strategy element. And just it looks like they took a little bit too big of a swing at it here today. Still really no big wrecks or anything. With all the tire problems, all the wrecks, all the cautions have been single car incidents. No, all the cars on the racetrack still. Nobody in the garage. All right. Here we go. Larson on the outside, Keselowski on the inside, Chevrolet versus Ford. Then on row 2, Ty Gibbs on the outside of Ryan Blaney. Ty Gibbs trying to get back to the lead. Okay, it sounds like Goodyear is prepared to dish out more tires if need be. So, if worse comes to worse. Yeah, they are given 9 sets. I say they're gonna end up using at least 12. And here we go. 140 laps complete when they get the green flag. 360 to go. Larson on the outside of Keselowski. This is the first time the 5 car has been out front today. He seems to have a bit more of a long run car. We'll see if he can hold him off, though. Oh, it seems like the lights are going back up on the pace car. Sounds like they're having some sort of telemetry problem at the racetrack. Yikes. We have some drivers having good runs right now. Nemechek in the 5th position. Preece inside the top 10. Both Rick Ware Racing cars running inside the top 20 right now, with Gralla in 18th, Haley in 19th. And I think the pace cars lights are off this time by. $110 laps to go in stage 2 when we get the green flag. And the pace car is going to pull off. And Larson will lead the field back to green. The outside line has been the place to be on these restarts. We'll see if it remains true this time around. Green flag back out, and a great launch for Larson. Gibbs all over the bumper of the 5 cars. We dive down into turn 1. The 5 able to cover off the 6. The 54 and the 6 remain side by side off of turn 2, but I think the 54 is going to have the momentum. He's trying to poke to the outside of Larson. Ty Gibbs going around to the outside, and it looks like he's just got the launch. Ty Gibbs rolls right back to the lead, going from 3rd to 1st in 1 lap. Very impressive there out of the 54. Keep in mind on that if we get a late race restart here. Nemechek also making that outside line just roll. He's up to 2nd place from 5th on the restart, and Josh Berry entering the picture side by side with Keselowski for 4th. And once again, Larson just getting pinned down low. The outside line is where you want to be. The question is just how high will the outside line climb? Right now they're running right about in the middle of the racing track. You still got about another 10 feet further north that these guys are probably going to use as the day goes on. Ty Gibbs out front by about 2 car lengths over Josh Berry, who's just stormed through the field. Now he's gotten around Nemechek, or trying to get around Nemechek, I should say. I mean, everybody's just so unconfident in what the tires have right now. Here we go. Ty Gibbs washes up the racetrack. Josh Berry thought about taking a shot at it, backed out. Now Truex, all of a sudden, where did he come from? Coming around the outside of the 4 car. All of a sudden, you got 3 Toyotas in the top 5. I'd mentioned that earlier, how they are making progress. Truex trying to diamond the outside of the racetrack, and he's got the run on Ty Gibbs. And Truex looking to take the race lead out of turn number 4. And he is your new leader out of turn number 4, and Ty Gibbs is just struggling all of a sudden. He had good takeoff speed, and the script has just flipped on the 54 car. Larson now trying to reuse the outside line to get back to the front that he just gave away on the last restart. And Larson's going to roll by Gibbs on the high side, trying to come back for 2nd place. But honestly, I have no idea, because right now everybody's running hard. You know what happened last time everybody was running hard? They all blew tires or had tire problems. Christopher Bell going around Josh Berry. It's interesting to see. I mean, usually you see guys with takeoff speed and they kind of falls off, and then guys with long run speed. Well, here it's like it's just flipping every 5 laps. I have no idea right now. It looks like NASCAR is going to allow more than 9 sets. At least that's what I heard from Goodyear, or more so they are prepared. Not yet that they are allowing, but they are prepared to give more than 9 sets. All of a sudden, Martin Truex Jr. is just falling off. Like, that's what I'm saying. It's just flipping. Truex just got out in the lead, drove away by like half a second, and now all of a sudden he's got passed by Gibbs and Larson. And Larson was trying to pass Gibbs, so Gibbs just drove away from him. Now here comes Bell. I mean, it's all Toyotas also. I have to keep in mind, 4 Gibbs cars inside the top 5, so they've somewhat figured it out. Denny Hamlin, after almost crashing at the end of stage 2, is back into 5th. It's literally constantly back and forth, yada, yada, yada. I don't even know what to think right now. I can't even tell you who could win this race. I have I cannot give you any good advice. It is so back and forth right now. All of a sudden, Joey Logano, who's literally outside of the top 25 laps ago, is in the top 6. Bringing in Chris Buescher with him. The race is just... It's like somebody's just continuing to, here comes Larson. Go around the outside of Gibbs. He's going to make it look easy. The 5 car just flies around the 54. The 20 is now getting close. So is the 11. But you know what? I feel good. I feel like, okay, Larson just got out there, and he's in the lead. But you know what? Everybody that's led the race so far has had some sort of problem or just fallen right off back into the clutches a second. The only thing I know for a fact is Hamlin seems to be strong no matter what, as long as his tires don't blow up, because all of a sudden he is about to take 2nd place back from Ty Gibbs. And Ty Gibbs is going to get passed by Hamlin on the outside, and Denny Hamlin up into second place. Ooh, Larson's blocking Hamlin there. All of a sudden, the 5 car's falling off a bit, but it looks like he's actually going to try and block a bit more than some of these guys. Now here comes Ty Gibbs, swinging back around, back into the lead. What's typical Bristol is the leader gets the clean air and opens up about a second lead and is kind of able to drive away somewhat comfortably and then catches lap traffic and gets bogged down and then maybe gets overtaken in lap traffic. But here you can't even drive away from the pack. This is almost as congested as Daytona. On this run, if we see about a lot of blown tires here, then that'll really spike my interest. I don't know, the guys that are running hard specifically. And now here we go. Hamlin's about to retake the lead. He's up 9 spots since the restart. Also, shout out Justin Haley, up 7 spots, and he's in 13th. And Larson swinging to the outside of Ty Gibbs. I've never seen a race like this in my life, guys. This has been so entertaining. I mean, they are just bumping and banging. You'll love to see it. Now, they're going to cut to commercial, and we're going to get probably another yellow under commercial because that just seems to be how the day is going. Also, according to the leaderboard, it looks like Larson has just retaken the lead from Denny Hamlin because it seems like nobody wants to run in the same spot for more than 2 laps. It's Larson, Hamlin, Gibbs, Bell, Truex are top 5, Barry, Buescher. Oh, never mind. It already flipped. Barry, Nemechek, Buescher, Keselowski, Logano in the top 10. Then Blaney, Priest, Haley, Suarez, Gralla in the top 15. How about both Rick Ware cars inside the top 15 off of pace right now? The last car, so I'd say the lap traffic is, I don't even know. They're about 7, they're almost half a lap behind the leaders, more like a third, and we're, 10 laps, 20 laps clear of the restart? I just don't think lap traffic is going to be a huge factor because we're going to be blowing tires before we ever see lap traffic. And, of course, there's an epic battle for the lead going on right now. I can just tell off the telemetry because the last 2 laps, the gap between the leaders was less than 100th of a second. So this is a shame that we're having to miss this under commercial. You hear that, Fox? Oh, my goodness. It's Larson versus 5 Toyotas also at the top of the leaderboard right now. That's pretty funny. He's actually the only Chevy inside of the top 14. I don't think it's ever been like this in a cup race in my whole life. And Larson takes the lead, but it's literally the next Chevy is Suarez in 15th. My goodness. I'm just waiting for the yellow flag icon to appear on my screen because it just seems a blown tire is inevitable at this point. I mean, they're racing so hard. I love to see it. Now, this race is just such a great battle, and so many great battles happening right now. Hey, Larson's got a 10th-and-a-half lead. That seems massive in the context of how today has gone. I'm just looking for a name on the leaderboard just drop like a rock, and all of a sudden it's falling off. The top 10, though, is still within a second of the leader. 15 laps or whatever clear of the restart, and that's crazy. Gibbs is back to the lead ahead of Larson. And Hamlin's fallen off again. Hamlin's back to 9th. He was leading a few laps ago. He's back to 9th. The 11 cars just burn it up. Something they're doing there. And now Larson's the only Chevy inside the top 15 as Gilliland has gone by Suarez for 15th. Wow. And now Larson's starting to drop back. He's in 4th. Barry's moved up to 3rd. Oh, my goodness. Now I see why Hamlin lost the track position. This leaderboard's a little bit further ahead than the broadcast. And yeah, Hamlin just got stuck 3 wide and squeezed out and freight trained. I mean, dude, they're 2 wide, 10 rows deep. I've never seen this. I mean, it's literally plate racing at Bristol somehow. in terms of just two conga lines. What in the world? Yeah, okay. I think the reason it's a conga line is because nobody's really wanting to drive away. Everybody's just trying to make the tires live. Oh boy, it's Gibbs, Truex, Barry, Bell. It's almost like you don't want to lead right now. Oh, Stenhouse has got a bit of a problem. Oh, and that's the dang it, another yellow flag. Come on, another yellow flag. This is now it's just getting annoying. We can't even get a run going because everybody's just gonna come down and pit and continue to just baby the tires. Stenhouse says they're done, so maybe they think they have a broken toe or something. We'll see here. Seems like Hemrick was also involved, maybe. And trying to find a replay here. Interesting angle. Oh, they just check up a ton. So Stenhouse and McDowell get together. And whoa, and then Hemrick just shoots up the track. That is not a yellow, though. What the heck? Are you kidding me? I mean, they just threw a yellow for somebody just washing up the racetrack. I mean, Hemrick got in the wall pretty good. So did Zane Smith. Oh, it looks like a banner kind of came off, so that could be it, though. I still don't think this should be a yellow unless you're throwing it for, there's a banner on the side of the racetrack that starts to get kind of torn down. Huh. I have mixed feelings on that caution. Yeah, it was funnier the first 100 laps. Now it's, I mean, what lap are we on? We are, well, let me do some math here that might make me and everybody kind of sad. We're at the 1 hour and 15 minute mark. Could be worse. And we are close to the 2/5 mark. We're about a third of the way in. So, in theory, this race is going to take us another 2.5 hours. So we're on pace for about a 4-hour race, which is, that's not terrible by NASCAR standards. I know. They're talking about right now on the broadcast. There are trucks that run on the top of the racetrack trying to clear off those marbles. I hope they clear it off enough to where we see this high line just come in, and maybe they'll be able to go up on the high line and save tire up there. All right, I'll be right back, guys. And we're back. Okay. Hey, we have to almost just see. This race they're talking about again on the broadcast. This is survival. But Okay. Yellow flag continuing. Let's see what people are saying online. 'Cause, that's what matters. Um, okay. Here we go. Make sure everybody watching. Okay. Online, funniest race ever. It's literally a game of chicken, and that's definitely a good way of putting it. I'm interested. People online, I mean, they're still liking it for now, but if this continues on another 150 laps, and we're a little bit past halfway, I wonder if we'll see that continues. Okay, and let's see how the race off pit road works out. And it's going to be Busher, Gibbs, Truex, Bell, Gilliland up 12 spots. My goodness. Larson, Logano, Keselowski, Nemechek, and Barry. All right. So far, I'd give the race like a 7 out of 10. It's still good. Probably 8 out of 10. It has some pretty good. It's just the chicken, trying like seeing who's got the cojones to keep going, and try to not blow their tires. It could get old here. The free pass though goes to Harrison Burton under that last yellow flag, puts 28 cars on the lead lap. Zane Smith now 10 laps down. He might have finally just called it quits and gone in the garage. We'll see. Byron's 6 laps down. Reddick 4, Reddick 3, Stenhouse 2. Same with Cindric Dillon. Actually, no, Stenhouse is 2. Then Cindric, Gregson, Dillon, Kyle Busch all 1 lap down. I usually love Bristol, but this is a race unranked, by the way. Man, they fell off like a cliff. Yeah. Oh, I see we're talking about college basketball in the chat. I mean, I'm an Oklahoma fan. I don't know if they're gonna make it. I think they're projected as the last 4 or like the last 4 in. But when is the selection show right now? Anybody know? I could probably check by just looking around on Hulu. Also, in terms of the poll, who's going to win the race? Jordy, if you still say, actually, it's a tie between Hamlin and Elliott. Oh, the selection thing is it Monday? Ah, okay, I thought it was Sunday. I mean, this race is it feels like it's taken forever, partially because it is. Um, but we are not even to the halfway point, and I mean we're only an hour and 30 minutes in about, so kind of normal, I guess. I feel like Bristol just usually has a lot of green flag runs with lap traffic being a huge factor, but that's just not the case this time around. Currently, if we look at the point standings as they run. Bubba Wallace is the final position in the playoff bracket, just over Brad Keselowski by 2 points. Ooh. Problems for Ty Gibbs on pit road. Well, Ty Gibbs is going to pit again, so he is going to go from leading to all the way to the rear of the field here. Okay, they're going to use a scuff set on the 54. Strategy call here could be crucial later on, having an extra set of tires. The only thing is, what happens if you get a lap down here? You know, those scuffs might be so much slower. With 63 to go, I'm not sure how that's going to work out for you. Lights out on the pace car. And also, where's Ty Gibbs going to factor into the... Where does he cycle onto the field here? The way pit road's done? Okay, he'll still be on the lead lap. Okay, anyways, Buescher on the outside, Bell on the inside, then Truex on the outside of row 2 with Gillen to his inside. So the cast has been reshuffled at the front of the field, and lights are going to go back on the pace car. We've seen it before. The high line is dominant on the restart. But we did see on the last one, Larson started first on the high line, got the jump, and then did not cover off the guy behind him on the high line. And then Ty Gibbs was able to squeak around him from third place on the restart. Here we go. Green flag back in the air. Good restart for both lanes this time. Bell's still there. Can he hold him off? Wow, Gillen's like a brick here on the restart. He is just killing the inside lane. Bell's going to drop into second, Truex third, and a little bit back to Larson in fourth, but that inside line just got bombed by Gillen there on that restart. Bell looking to the inside of Buescher. With 60 to go in this stage, if we go green to the end, it'll be our longest green flag run of the day. Keep that in mind. So I'm basically saying I think we're going to see another yellow. Bell sits in second, Truex in third, then Larson in fourth. But it's like you're not really sure who's pushing it right now because everybody's just trying to make it to the end. People might just be babying the tires for the time being. Nemechek going to pop around Kyle Larson, or at least try to pop around him, to put 4 Toyotas in the top 4 spots. And, I mean, we're still not seeing anybody work to the high line. It looks like they cleared it off a little bit under that last yellow, but everybody's just running the bottom. Apparently the resin treats the tires the best. But another thing is, as they run in that resin, it will slowly get worn off. And Gillen's getting shuffled out by Josh Berry. And this 38 car tried to, I think, use some strategy to get forward. And he is paying for it early on in the going. When you see people overtake, it's not necessarily a sign of power. It's almost a sign of not having the discipline to just be okay to be slow here and save the tire for the finish. Especially you don't want to be stuck on the outside line very long. Even if you're making passes, you're just burning up the tire more than if you're down bottom on the bottom in the resin. 6 Eastern tonight? Okay. Here we go. Bell to the outside of Busher. This is for the lead, and he's going to take that spot away. There will be one more set of tires given out, and that is it, though. Oh, boy. Even with one more set, I don't know how much that buys you. Oh, Suarez and Haley are getting together. Suarez up the track. Oh, man, he almost took them both out. That's going to really wear away the tire there on the 51. Oh, my goodness, Hamilton almost got hooked by Blaney. Just going to have to see if we got a tire up there between that contact between Haley and Suarez. Now Busher's going back, but once again, maybe he's going to look like the smart guy when everybody in front of him burns up their tires. Ooh, Busher and Logano, looks like they tapped each other a little bit going down the straightaway. Okay, Suarez battling with Chase and Ty Gibbs. 46 to go in the stage. Man, Gibbs making that high line work, man. He is flying back through this field after getting that penalty on the last caution. And now Gibbs reeling in Blaney. Now, is he burning through his tires? He's going 4 miles an hour faster than the leaders while working through traffic. That's not him being that fast. It's the leaders being that relaxed. And Logano's going to go by Larson for fourth. We're about 15 laps into this run now. 44 to go in the stage. I already said it before. If we go green to the end of the stage, it'll be our longest run of the day. Oh boy, Larson's still the only Chevrolet in the top 16. Not the top 15, the top 16 now. I didn't even know Casgar's all the way up to 8th, having a great run today. Now he's going by Josh Berry for 7th. Ty Gibbs continuing to make passes going forward. Looks like he's going by his teammate Denny Hamlin now. 40 to go in the stage. Stop going to commercial. Oh my gosh. I gotta find some like the NASCAR International stream or something. We're gonna get another yellow under the caution. I'm gonna have to figure that out for the next weekend because this is killer. This is killer. I think I've seen people get like a VPN or something, and then you don't have to deal with the commercials anymore. But oh, brother, especially with the way today's gone. I mean, you just don't want to miss a moment because so many things can change in just a moment. Bell, Truex, Nemechek, Logano, Larson in the top 5 still. Keselowski, Gralla, Berry, Gibbs, Hamlin in the top 10. Okay, the tail end of the field is about a half lap down now. So lap traffic might finally be a factor. Bell up by about 0.2 over Truex, but Once again, people are saving tires a decent amount. Pretty big gap, though, from them to third. It's a second back to Nemechek in third place. It's probably the most spread apart we've seen the top 10 so far today, and it's still only spread apart by 2.5 seconds, which is really nothing. And we are definitely going to break a record for the most lead changes in a Bristol race today. About 30 laps to go in stage number 2. Larson's starting to fade on this run. He's back to 7th now. Casgar's also dropped back to 9th. Man, Gibbs is continuing to charge up to 4th. Now, he's on a set of scuffs as well. I just don't know how that's working for Ty right now. This race is so goofy. Gibbs going from last to the first in the stage on a set of scuffs. Matter of fact, like 30 laps. I don't even know what to think. Like, oh boy, Husavar, Dillon, Jones sandwich each other there a little bit. Because it's not that he's that fast. It's just people are going that slow on purpose. Truex just staying right on the bumper of Bell at the front still. Maybe 28 to go. Bell and Truex still out front, 28 to go. Gralla and Haley running in 10th and 12th, man. Both Rick Ware cars could score stage points here. That'd be crazy. And Truex is going to pass Bell. Did Bell just hit the limit with his set of tires? Or is he being conservative? Now Gibbs is all the way up to 3rd. I'm so confused as how the tires on the 54 are working. Like, if they last the end of the stage, I'm just going to be baffled. The fact that he's on scuffs and just going faster than anybody else. And Logano swinging around the outside of... Oh, we got a spinner. And of course, that's going to ruin the strategy again. And you know who it is? It's Kyle Busch. Man, this race is terrible. This is terrible at this point. I've lost my interest. Everybody's just coasting around trying to last, and we can't even have a long green flag run without somebody just losing it. Tire's still up on Kyle Busch's car too. I mean, he's just... I don't even know what to say to that. It's just frustrating. And now you're gonna have another, stupid call your strategy. I mean, this race is gonna be brutal down the stretch because people are just coasting flat out. Ty Gibbs driving through the field. I hope that does not get talked about a ton in the media. I mean, I'm thankfully the broadcast isn't talking about it a ton either because they know that it's not Ty Gibbs being great. It's the people. Everybody's running around half throttle. So of course, if Ty Gibbs is going to choose to go full throttle and somehow the tires decide to last. And now they're brushing off the top of the racetrack again. Hopefully we can maybe clear it off enough to run up there a bit. But then there are a ton of marbles up near the exit of the turn at the top of the track. Looks like Sebring in the IMSA race yesterday. Yeah, he is always saving it. Nice, like nice, Braden. The 21 to go right now. I would stay out. For a lot of these teams here, I would stay out. 20 to go. Probably gonna be 15 to go when we get the green flag. I would try to make it last. I would not burn up a set of tires here. Now, if you do pit, I guess, and you don't stay out, then you cycle forward at the start of the final stage. But I would stay out here. I'd make it last. I'd stay out. I'd also, because you stay out, maybe get some points too. With the way those races going, you never know when you're going to blow a tire. So, and there's nobody out of the race yet. I think, or no, maybe Zane Smith is. But basically, you might exit today with no points. Zane Smith is out of the race. Or if you do pit, maybe put it on scuffs. That's also a good point. I guess a good question is if you pit now, you're definitely not going to pit at the end of the stage. Okay, we're continuing to roll around under yellow here, making it if for each lap they do this, for me it's a less and less chance I want to pit. We have not seen hardly any split strategy outside of Tyler Reddick trying to stay out by himself and then wrecking. Looks like Chastain's getting ready. They're going to be putting scuffs on that car. So a fair amount of teams have got scuffs ready. I don't see anybody with stickers in their hands as they're scanning pit road. I don't understand why they haven't opened pit road. But like stuff like that with the NASCAR, there's no reason why pit road should not be open right now. Hmm. Yeah, this is just frustrating me that we haven't pitted now. We're. Hmm. Yeah, now it's okay. So now it sounds like NASCAR is almost trying to help the team save a set of tires here, which I kind of have a problem with. Like, you shouldn't just change procedure. Like this to me is stupid right now. You're just running a bunch of yellow flag laps, just chew it off. It does show you though how scared NASCAR is right now, like what potentially can happen. The fact that they're actually trying to avoid drama. And pit road's open, so they ran about 5 extra laps of pace, or probably 3 or 4 extra laps under the yellow flag there. And everybody's pitting, man. It's annoying because it's not even like strategy. Everybody's just kind of praying. No real choices out of left field I'm seeing. I think Jamie Little's sick. Sounds like, okay, so there's a bit of strategy. Some people taking 2, some people taking 4. Or some people were splitting scuffs and fresh tires. Okay, it still looks like everybody took 4. It's just a matter of if they put on scuffs, 2 scuffs, and 2 freshes. God, this race right now, oof. We're only halfway, guys. We're only halfway. We're closing the 2-hour mark. On pace to end around 8 o'clock tonight. Hey, thanks everybody tuning in though. I think we're over like 500 people have like clicked in here at some point. Appreciate it. Denny and Barry certainly have the best cars, but dang, it seems like at this point there's no. You say dark horse for the stage? Is Gillens his dad's hammer guy? At this point, there's no real direction that I think things are heading in. It's just chaos, but not like chaos like Daytona. Like genuinely nobody can do anything for their own like well-being. I'm just hoping it works out. I want to check Instagram now, see what the comments are looking like. Another about half hour, 45 minutes has passed. See if people are starting to get more frustrated with how the race is going. And I see a lot of people are saying best racing. Okay, yeah. Okay, I would agree with the best racing if I don't even really agree with the racing if they could just have fresh tires, because the thing is they're not even racing now. Whatever they're doing in the car, it's just them coasting, trying to just meet a slow number. Nobody's maxing their lap times. Maybe the first 2 laps after the restart, you're trying to pick up a few spots, but then after that, all the passes happening, it's almost like proxy, like it's a facade, because you have people that are you might get held up a little bit, but people aren't nobody's going full out. Everybody's just kind of coasting, and essentially you're maybe trying to bait the other guy into coasting more than you do, and then actually that's I rescind that statement, but either way, like Ty Gibbs going from the back to the front, it's not even. It's like I already said it. It's not like he actually is going from the back to the front. It's just everybody ahead of him was trying to save their tires, since he had scuffs that had gotten hard since yesterday. They were able to last. Oh, Ryan Blaney speeding. Hey, we did see some strategy. I didn't notice. LaJoy and Hocevar stay out. The 2 Spire cars. There we go. Keeping it interesting for us. Thank you, Spire. The 11 to go. Hocevar on the inside. LaJoy on the outside. Then Nemechek on the inside of row 2 with Bell to his outside. And Blaney is going to have to drop to the rear. Once again, that bad luck starts again for the 12 car. Here we go. Green flag back in the air. 11 to go in the stage. LaJoy on the outside gets a good restart. Hocevar spins the tires. We'll see how long they can hold on. And Bell just is going to shoot around him already through turn 1. He knows it's critical to get that pass done fast. Oh boy, Nemechek almost got ran over by Larson, trying to get out from behind Hocevar, and everybody's just trying to get up off the bottom, trying to get around that 77. Man, you're just getting swarmed if you don't take tires. LaJoy's kind of hanging on, but Hocevar just got put in the middle, and he's already outside the top 15. He's just trying not to cause a wreck now. Oh, boy. Okay, they just squeezed his inside. Oh, and Buescher really just got held up there. Oh, man, that just cost him like 5 spots. Now Logano hunting down Bell for the stage win. Oh, Logano's going to give the 20 a big shot. Now Nemechek, Larson, Truex the top 5. Behind these 2 leaders, battling for the lead with 7 laps to go now. Bell's just trying to hold him off. And Logano is fighting Bell hard for these points. Bell. I don't know if I'm Bell. I'm considering letting Logano go here, man. It seems like Logano might just take you both out battling for this stage win. Oh, man. Oh, Bell almost wrecked himself there. And Barry's off the pace now. 5 to go in the stage. Gibbs using the high side, and he's coming forward again. He's going to get in the back of Bell. Logano's loving this battle behind him. That's allowing him to go off and hide. And Keselowski's swinging around the outside. Yeah, Bell might be sacrificing these points now, but he's trying to make these tires last longer. Gibbs trying to go over the stage win now. I didn't think he was going to be able to catch Logano, but he is there. He's brought Keselowski with him to third, Nemechek in fourth. How about Garala, currently in position to get a stage point or two? Oh boy, they showed a shot of the back of the pack there, and LaJoy really holding him up. 3 to go. 2 to go now in stage 2. Gibbs to the outside of Logano. What will Logano do to try and hold the 54 at bay? I don't know if he can do anything. Gibbs just took it away. Oh man, they're coming up on, who's that? Kyle Busch, whose day continues to get worse. He might go a lap down here. And Keselowski's also going to get by Logano for second before the end of the stage. And then Nemechek, Bell. I mean, how does Ty Gibbs end up sweeping the stages? I'm so confused. This race is like a pendulum constantly swinging. Nemechek, Bell, Truex, Hamlin, Larson, and Bubba Wallace, and Priest gets the final stage point. Gralla just misses out on stage points. Man, this race has been just so confusing. All right. Now we'll see. I think they are up to like 6 sets used-ish. And so I think they have like 4 or 5 more for the second half of the race. So I think they should manage. But still, this stuff's wild. Spire was leading because they stayed out there. Oh, but they were not leading for much long after that. Really an impressive thing through all this is 35 cars still in the race, 29 of which are on the lap, and it'll be 30 after Austin Dillon gets the free pass. Yeah, today, I just don't even know what I think about this race. It's just, I want to get a run going where I feel like there's actual battling and it's just not tire saving, but I'm realizing that's just not going to happen because you have to tire save with the number of sets they have. Boy, this race has just been pure madness. Lightning McDonough, got to feel it for KB. I guess. I don't know. He's wrecked twice already today, and yeah, I think he's kind of thrown in the towel. The fact that he was already about to go a lap down there that quickly on this last run. I'm just interested to see, so who pits now and who doesn't pit? And if you do pit, like what type of tires do you put on, etc., etc.? All right. Thanks for everybody tuning in, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure you drop a like and subscribe if you haven't already. Oh my goodness. Yeah, the memes are already rolling in online, comparing Lightning McQueen blowing the tires at the end of the race to real life. I have mixed feelings on this race. I genuinely do. It's so entertaining, but at the same time, something's just throwing me off. I hope we have like a 100 lap run here to just see some good like battling back and forth, and it's not a game of chicken, quite literally. Yeah, pit road's open. Here we go. And this pit road's finally going to be open. Hopefully. Once again, we're just mowing down yellow flag laps here for really no reason. This just so frustrating. There's just simply no reason as to why we've ran 7 yellow flag laps since the end of the stage. There's no reason. There's no good reason. All they do is turn on a green flag or a green light and then pit road's open. It shouldn't take 7 laps to do that. Ty Gibbs into his pit stall. Now they'll be throwing fresh tires on his car, but that's okay. Only 2 tires, and he has to wait a second for Suarez, who's coming into his stall ahead of him. Looks like we're seeing a lot of 2 tires here. They did stickers on the last 2 stops for Keselowski. I don't know what I think about that. Oh, and the 6 and the 2 get together on pit road. The 6 had to turn out to get around, I think, Nemechek, and Cindric came in, and I didn't actually really know where Cindric's going in that, because his stall wasn't right there. I guess it would have been right ahead of Nemechek, so that would make sense, I guess. Big mover, Chastain up 13 spots. Oh no, somebody lost a wheel on pit road. That's not good. I don't know. Nemechek might get penalized. I don't know if all 4 tires were in the stall there. That was just a chaotic sequence on pit road right there. Gibbs looking dominant right now. His night possibly. I don't know. Gibbs is good, but it's just been smart strategy, frankly. I would still say it's wide open. The main surpriser is Chevrolet has just missed it by a mile. I mean, Larson's the only driver that's been near the top 10, in the top 10 at all, period. Even right now, Chastain's in 8th, but he did some sort of strategy on this last stop. And the scoreboard's messed up. Austin Dillon is not in 10th. So, yeah, just Chevrolets have just simply missed it outside of the 5. Yeah, Bowman and Elliott Elliott's been near the top 10 a few times. I think he might have gotten some points in stage 1, but otherwise for Bowman it has been another very bad run, I would say, for his standards. But at what point do we realize that maybe his standards aren't as high as we have him, or as maybe he's not as good as we kind of portray him to be? Right now, Busch holds on to the final playoff position by 9 points over Eric Jones. All right, as they run, I can't even say underdog drivers because it's just continually swinging. Todd Gilliland's up in 5th, but I've seen him drop back to 20th and also run in the top 5 like twice today. Both Rick Ware cars were running well, but I think they did not have great pit stops. Yeah, Gral's back to 16th and Haley's in 20th. Still above average for Rick Ware standards. Oh boy. Oh, checking the fantasy league, seeing how we're doing. Not the best right now. Not the best. Okay. And oh, here we go. Yeah, Ty Gibbs is definitely, I would say, the favorite right now. I don't know why. I feel like a Ty Gibbs hater today. I'm really not. Um, I think I'm just a frustrated Larson fan because Larson's good on the long run here, and we just aren't able to have any long runs today. So just sucks to suck today. Um, I mean, my pick to win earlier today, Denny Hamlin. He's had a very up and down day. Definitely, I think could win still. Down in 15th though currently. The lowest running Toyota not involved in an incident, man. The Toyotas are just so good. In first, third, fourth, sixth, ninth, 14th, and 15th. And there's been times where 4 out of the top 5 for Toyotas. And really, it's only ever been Larson that's been mixing it up in terms of the Chevrolets. Um, Back to the chat. Well, I'm a Harvick fan, and he is not racing. Oh. Larson over the radio. Does NASCAR have a crisis management team? Because this seems to be a crisis. I don't know, the team, yeah, everybody's going to have to manage tires. That's why it seems to be a pack. It's really not pack racing. It's simply everybody coasting. Like the same thing why people were frustrated kind of with Daytona, with the fuel saving that was happening in the draft. Yes, they are still all in a pack together, but it's not like it's kind of it's simulated. They're not actually battling because everybody's just off the like throttle. Oh, we got a new Cracker Barrel segment here. Oof. Here we go. I will say staying out has not worked out. I was promoting staying out. Maybe if you stay out with like half the field, but it's just not worth it today. Green flag back out. Final stage underway. 264 down out of this 500 lap event today. Ty Gibbs with a great restart. His great run continues. He's trying to sweep the stages here at Bristol. 3 Toyotas clear on the bottom. Logano in 4th. Nemechek in 5th. Man, already they're single file on the bottom throughout the top 6, and Gibbs has just jumped away from the field. First guys side by side are Todd Gillen and Ross Chastain for 7th. Gillen trying to go forward. I don't really know what to expect, like, because I'm like watching this and I'm like, as a Larson fan, I'm like, go for it, you know, push forward on the outside, but I don't even know if he's pushing. I can't tell if he's pushing or if he's half throttle, like, because everybody's just trying to conserve tire. I mean, we've seen it multiple times. Once they're gone, they're gone. That's it. Yeah, and then you pray for a caution from somebody that's hopefully not yourself so you can pit. And Nemechek going to the inside of Gillen, or actually no, Gillen going around the outside of Nemechek. That's for 5th. They're making a good point right now on the broadcast. Like the crew chiefs are just like they don't even know how we're going to get to the finish if they don't shorten the race. Now Gillen's going around the outside of Logano. He's up to fourth. But it's like making passes is almost your arch nemesis here. You just don't want to use up the tire. Everybody pretty much single file throughout the field. The one thing I will say, since they're not in a huge pack right up against your leaders, lap traffic could finally be a factor. Top 10 separated by 3 seconds. That's like the biggest spread we've seen this early in a run. Chastain trying to go around the outside of Keselowski. Ahead of him, Nemechek going around the outside of Logano. That is for sixth or fifth position. Okay, already the rear of the field is about a half a lap down. Larson's going around Logano on the outside. Three and a half seconds out front, or 3.5 seconds separate the top 10. Usually a number I don't use too much in the broadcast, but it's kind of the best way to explain how spaced out this field is, because it's just been nothing like a typical Bristol race today. I mean, there has been times where we're 30 laps into a run and the top 10 is separated by 1 second. Sounds like, okay, quite a few teams have 3 sets left, and most people have 4. So it seems like you could manage from here to the finish if we don't have that many yellows. But then I say, when I mean that though, is just manage. So continue kind of at the pace we're going now. Nothing too aggressive. And Logano continuing to get past. He's dropping out of the top 10 here. I'm pretty sure he has scuffs on this run, and he's just trying to make it last. Still, Gibbs, Truex, Bell, Nemechek your top, and Larson now your top 5. Larson's got around Gillen. Oh boy, we're at 3 wide near the back, near the top 20. Jones, Bowman, Blaney, I saw. Truex on the bumper, Gibbs. Looking at the intervals, how far away is lap traffic? Well, Kyle Busch is behind everybody. He's probably about 8 laps away from going a lap down. Then the rest of the field is about half a lap down, or the tail end of the real field. And Truex is taking the lead from Gibbs. Oh boy, this is just looking to be a Toyota / Gibbs domination, man. I'm getting like 2017, 2018 flashbacks right now. And Logano's really going backwards all of a sudden. Like, he is really going backwards. It's about to drop outside of the top 20. Lost 18 spots since the restart. Burton's lost 9. Elliott's lost 7. So those are some drivers going in the wrong direction since the restart. Also, Bell's gotten by Gibbs now for second. Eric Jones working his way around Daniel Suarez. This is right outside the top 15. How about Haley and Gralla running in 10th and 11th? I've said it like probably 5 times today, but the Rick Ware cars, they had double top 10 here today. That'd be very, very impressive. And Gillen trying to get by Barry. He's just going to bail. Gillen's starting to go backwards now on this run. He's back to 9th. See, this is the thing. Your top 10's actually bunched up on this run. The gap's back down to under 3 seconds. It was almost 4 seconds a little while back. And that's what I mean. It's not really racing. It's just kind of going around and chilling. Kind of coasting and just trying to save. And still the highest Chevrolet is Larson in 5th. And he's the only Chevrolet inside the top 11. The next one's Chastain in 12th. And the next one after that is Bowman in 19th. I'm just, from Chevrolet, that's another thing shocking about this race. I've just never seen one Chevy in the top 15. Occasionally you see it with Ford and occasionally you see it with Toyota, but I've never seen Chevrolet just kind of miss the mark so much. And Hamlin's going around Larson, or trying to, using the outside lane. That is for 5th, make it 5 Toyotas in the top 5. Ooh, Josh Berry using a pretty high line there. It looks like a 1 and 2. Higher than anybody else I've seen. Now we are about to click over lap 300. That means 200 to go. Keselowski's worked his way by Larson for 6th now. Oh boy. Looking back at the chat, Rick Ware though, yeah, how about that? See that in the chat. Why did Blaney fall back so far? I really actually missed that. I think he just got shuffled out on a pit road. He had a pit road penalty at one point. I know that, and I don't think he's been able to really recover. I think that's what it is. Dude, okay, this in-car camera, I don't know who has. I think this is Chris Buescher. And like the camera stays in position, so like when the banking bends, the camera just stays at the same constant angle. That really gives you a perspective for the amount of banking through the center of the turn. And Logano's almost outside of the top 30 now. So if we can go green another 15, 20 laps, I think your leaders might finally catch lap traffic. That's a huge if. Hamlin's now up into 4th, so make it Gibbs cars running 1, 2, 3, 4. And Nemechek might have just burnt it up as he's also gotten passed by Keselowski. And Larson's right now about to pounce on the 42. But I'm not sure if he's actually burn up the tires, or he's just trying to manage right now and realize he's got to hit a slower number and he's backing off for a little bit. He may not even know himself. Truex continues to lead. And as the laps continue to wind down here. And the last driver to win in the Cup Series on St. Patrick's Day was Kyle Busch. It doesn't look like he's going to be a back-to-back St. Patty's Day winner. And, of course, as soon as I check, we're going to get a yellow flag. But where from is the question. Just when it's like lap traffic, could be a possibility. Man, this is frustrating. The spread over the top 10 is 5 seconds, the biggest it's been today. Kozlowski going by Hamlin, that's for fourth. Oh, Harrison Burton just had to make an unscheduled pit stop. Oh, and Elliott's about to go a lap down. Under green here. And Josh Berry's in the wall. And he was right in the top 10, too. If this is another car up the racetrack as a yellow flag, I'm going to be very angry. Hold on. Okay, he spun. So that's a fair yellow. That's a fair yellow. Good save from Barry, but just that, what was the earlier yellow for Stenhouse and Zane Smith and a few others, like just washing up the racetrack? That was pretty frustrating. And now I think everybody's going to stop here again. It's just the same cycle over and over. I think the only thing I think that'll happen now is this is just going to continue to like the last 50 laps, and then people will stop being patient because they realize I have to go, it's now or never. And then you might see people start blowing tires like 10 to go. But who knows? I will say right now, it's very likely a Gibbs car wins this race, considering they're running 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to have another yellow. We're going to have another commercial break, and they're just going to mow down a bunch of yellow. Unbelievable, man. Unbelievable. The broadcast is just trying to bail out not the broadcast, like the sport is just trying to bail out their decision. So every yellow flag, they're just mowing off 6, 7 extra yellow flag laps. This is stupid. I'm sorry, this is stupid. You got to just bring them down pit road. Because it just makes them be able to coast more and more. Oh. I'm sorry. This is so bad. This is so bad. This is just a bad look, in my opinion. The trajectory I see this heading in is at the end. Either somebody's just going to pull away, and we're not going to have a late race yellow for somebody blowing a tire, or we're going to have a late race yellow for somebody blowing a tire, and we're just going to have tires left, and they're just going to keep blowing tires till the finish, and it just works out for somebody. Oh, gosh. Yeah, these yellow flags now, the fact that they're just mowing off extra laps. Because the thing is, I think they can still make it, and the reason, except they'll have to save tires in a more extreme manner. Because right now they're saving tires, but you can do it without like losing track position. And they just didn't do this random stuff with the yellow flags. You'd have to save tires by going very so much off the pace that you're going to be putting yourself at jeopardy of just being like a slow car on the racetrack. Oh my God. The average speed of this race is 73 miles an hour. I mean, basically, you could have gone, if you just, this is like going out to the freeway right now. Yikes. I think people are going to like this race more than I have, like in terms of the population, the viewers at large, but I personally do not think I appreciate this. I know, yeah, okay, at least I see some comments are saying cars are barely touching the wall and we're throwing caution flags. At least there's that. All right, here we go. Back from the commercial. Let's see how many laps were chewed off there. We chewed off 7 laps under this yellow flag, and now we're going to open pit road, and we're going to go back under commercial break. We're going to chew off 15 laps per caution for a car that's spun for some reason. That is pathetic. That is pathetic. And it looks like most guys have a whole fresh set on. That's you can just right now the way it's set up, you're going to be able to just fresh set all the way to the finish. If we just keep blowing a tire every 60 laps. Oh. I just don't know what I think about this right now. Okay. Okay, I'm just seeing some stuff online. Okay. This set of pit stops, it looks like everybody's doing their own thing. I mean, everybody's going to be doing fresh tires here. I don't see any strategy, any really massive changing for position. Still got Gibbs cars 1, 2, 3, 4. Then Larson, the odd man out in 5th. Oh no, Larson's able to get around Truex. So it's one Chevrolet breaking up the 4 Gibbs Toyotas once again, and it's still Larson. Oh boy, Barry fallen. One of his tire changers fallen down as he left the pit stall, but looks like all good. Yeah, I mean, this race has been chaotic and good in some ways, but a little too much for my taste. Oh, what's up, Andy? What's up? Today, not the most richest of days. I'm not gonna lie. Good racing in a mixed way. I know the average speed will be down to 55 miles per hour by the end, Ned. Currently it's 72 miles an hour, so it's continuing just to plummet. I'm actually kind of confused by that because the last speed it says was 75 miles an hour, and we're under yellow flag. So how is it like less than what a yellow flag speed would be? That's actually pretty confusing to me. Yeah, Hamlin, Bell, Gibbs, Truex. Oh, here it says Larson's back in 5th, so maybe Truex did win the race off payroll. That's what it looked like optically, but the scoring monitor said Larson beat Truex, so I don't know. Yeah, Chevrolet's just getting their butt handed to them. You got one Chevrolet in the top 14. Also, the free pass under that last yellow flag went to Noah Gragson, putting 31 cars on the lead lap. 35 still in the race. Man, if you're William Byron or Tyler Reddick who got damaged early on and are just stuck like 3-4 laps down, this is one of the longest days in your life. Just having to continue to click the laps off with all these yellows. 180 to go, 320 down. Yeah, Andy, if you're interested in joining, you're like, the finish of this race is not going to be for minimum another hour because of all the yellow flags. I'm nervous, Ned. I'm not sure just where the final laps are going to go. I'm just not sure. It seems like things are taming down, or I should say taming down because they have to, because they don't have enough tires to make it, but I think that could all just flip in a second. What would help is if all these Toyotas at the front were finally broken up, and they can just all play buddy-buddy. Oh, you can see the tires recording on that 45-lap run. That means, I'd say they're probably about another 10, 15 laps away from blowing a tire, which is the typical number we're seeing. And here we go. It's going to be Hamill on the outside, Bell on the inside, then Gibbs on the outside of row 2, Larson on the inside. Here we go. Green flag about to be back out. Why are they driving slow? Because the caution flags. So, when you're under the yellow flag, you're going slow. And just there's been so many yellow flags, the average speed is so low. Here we go. Hamill on the outside, Bell on the inside. Green flag about to be back out here. 178 laps to go. Good jump for Hamlin on the outside. He'll easily be able to cover off Bell and drop down. Gibbs is trying to swing it around the outside and smooth back up into second. He's going to go for more. Gibbs going for the lead down the back straightaway, and he's got the spot. And once again, it's Gibbs 1, 2, 3, 4. Larson back in 5th. And Gibbs just, wow, what an impressive move. I think today might be his day to get his first Cup Series win based on the run he's having. That was so impressive there on that restart. Just to swing around and go from 3rd to the lead. We've seen him do that twice today. Top 5 now, single file, a lap and a half after the restart. The first man up top is Todd Gillen. And now Larson poking to the inside of Truex for 4th, trying to break up the Toyota Armada at the front of the field. 175 laps to go. But once again, you can just see everybody playing it a lot more passive than we were seeing in stages 1 and 2. Yes, they're battling side by side here and there, but people know they have to preserve the tire. It's just not worth it to push it hard right now. It's better to potentially have the tire late in the run when everybody else has pushed it too hard and just get the spots. It's going to be a lot easier to pass somebody whose tires are shot than when they're on the same level as you. And Truex just keeping his fender on the right rear of the 5, so Larson's still not clear of him yet for 4th. And now Larson's up to 4th. Further back, Ryan Blaney's finally cracked the top 10 after having to recover from that penalty earlier on today. He's going to the inside of Keselowski for the 9th position. The spread over the top 10 up to 2nd and a half. We'll see if that continues to grow. Top 3 have really pulled away. There's about a half-second gap between 3rd and 4th. Gibbs has got 3 car lengths over Hamlin, but, they're just chilling, running the laps down right now. Now Todd Gillen, he's gotten around Nemechek on the outside. Now he's looking for one more spot, getting around Truex. On the last run, we saw the 38 have, pretty good takeoff speed, but he started to fade as the run went on. And based on the fact that he's pushing it hard at the start here again, I think we'll see the 38 fade on the long run once again. The 38 is going to clear Truex now. After trying to pull that move off for the last few laps, he's up into the 5th position. Now the spread is up to 2.5 tenths across the top 10. So I'm glad it's growing. That means the field's getting more spread out, slowly but surely. It means there's more drastic levels of tire saving being done. Gralla running in 13th. Haley is in 7th. Wow. Justin Haley all the way up in 7th. I did not realize he was that far forward. Man, those guys are just they're probably smiling so much under the helmet, bringing those cars that are usually running back in 30th and 31st up into the top 15, top 10 for most of the day. Very impressive. Keselowski now working his way around Truex. Truex is, it's not like that car is drastically changed in handling. That's my guess. I think he's just got a number that they've got, and he is just hitting it no matter what, even if it means sacrificing some spots in the short term. Now Keselowski's trying to go around Gillen for the 5th position using the high side. And now Truex is going to pop to the outside of Gillen. It looked like, Gillen was pushing early on, and he's already paying the price for it a little bit, as he's given back the spots he gained earlier. And Haley will go around the 38. This is for the 6th position, and he's got it. Top 3 separated by less than a second. Then it's a second back to Larson in 4th. The spread across the top 10 up to 3.5 seconds. So that continues to grow. The rear of the field just about a half of a lap behind your leaders, maybe a little more. Also, let's look at the pace differential between their fastest laps of the race and where they're running right now. They are a second slower a lap right now. So these guys, they're just coasting, trying to make it work. Closing in on 150 to go. Most of these teams have 2 or 3 sets left. And, we got some 3 wide further back here. Gillen and Nemechek battling. Oh, boy, William Byron's charging through the field, but he is 6 laps down, so it doesn't even matter. And, Gillen, I think he burned his stuff up. He's dropped outside the top 15 now and is falling like a rock. Josh Berry trying to recover from that spin. And Josh Berry's recovered from the spin to get back to 14th, but it's not like his car's that good. Like, yes, it's got to be healthy. It's got to feel comfortable. But a much bigger role in all that is just the fact nobody's contending him for these positions when he's pushing that hard. Like he's running faster laps than the leaders, I guarantee you. Now the spread across the top 10 is almost up to 5 seconds. Things we like to see. Usually, you want the field bunched together. But today, the more spread apart, the more people are actually the potential for better racing on the long run. That's what I'm trying to say. And Gillen's now fallen back to 20th. Hamlin right on the bumper of Gibbs right now. A second back to Bell in 3rd, 2.5 seconds to Larson in 4th, 3.5 to Keselowski in 5th. This has just got to be the weirdest Bristol race I've ever seen. I mean, lap traffic was, I think, a factor in the second run of the race or the first run of the race, and has not since. Just because everybody, there's no reason to chase down the rear of the field because you're not getting chased yourself. And we're going to get another corny yellow for some back marker spinning. Oh. 149 to go. Rebel Soul, NASCAR had to hand out one extra set, yeah? Mulaney's on the move. He will be there in the end. I think he definitely has potential to be there in the end, but it's still a toss-up. I think Gibbs is looking strong, so is Hamlin. We get some late yellows, some people doing really dumb things on restarts. You never know what could happen. Especially if we get some yellows on 10-lap runs consecutively. Because then you'll probably have a few people pit, and that'll definitely shuffle it up there. You'll start to get mixed strategies. The top 10 split almost up to 6 seconds. The rear of the field about 14 seconds or so, 15 seconds behind the leader. That means they're about a second or two ahead of leaders on the racetrack. So I'm just saying, fingers crossed lap traffic. Fingers crossed. Blaney working his way around the outside of McDowell. That's for 8th position. And he's got the spot. Bell's starting to drop further and further back off the top two, almost 2 seconds behind him now. Once again, though, not sure if that's off pace or just him being more conservative. Laps continuing to click by. 42 to go. Everybody's just bottom feeding the racetrack right now, unless you're thinking about making a pass, but it is just a conga line across the bottom. Everybody saving tire. And here we go. It looks like lap traffic is just ahead of your leader, so things might finally spice up. That's the reason I want lap traffic to get involved, because that's going to force somebody's hand. Because you can't. I mean, you can wait behind the lapped cars, because you're probably gonna, not necessarily have a huge fight from the guy immediately behind you. But when 3rd and 4th place catch you, Hemrick's up the track. Don't be a yellow. You better get that down off the track. Don't give me a yellow here. Don't give me the yellow yet. I swear to goodness. Get off the track, Hemrick. Get off the track. Thank gosh, no caution yet. I'm tired of back markers. Gibbs and Hamlin out front together. And now they've caught center. And we got Gregson up in the wall. Please don't throw the yellow. Now get it off the track, Gregson. And these guys. I think he might finally get it down here. It looks like. And Gibbs is trying to work his way up the track a little bit to get around Cindric, but Hamlin might see this as an opportunity to pass for the lead. And Hamlin to the inside of Gibbs for the lead, and he's got the spot. But you know what? Exactly. They caught the lap traffic, and Gibbs didn't pass him. And I think that was by choice. He's just not. You're not pushing the issue. They're not getting hounded by Bell, and even if they're hounded by Bell, it's a teammate. It's not like he's going to wreck you. Once Larson catches him, but Larson's 3 seconds off of all this. Then they might finally push him a little bit. Okay, it sounds like there's cars all over the track right now that are just starting to lose the tire. And it's a matter of time. Oh boy, and they just passed Gillen, and Stenhouse and Cindric's been right in front of your leaders. And that'll be the yellow flag, and thankfully the leaders avoid it, but once again, it's just back markers. Again. Oh. This race, man, just back markers, throwing it, just oh. So they're coming on the lapped car of Todd Gillen, whose tires were shot. Oh, boy. I don't even know what to say. Well, we'll see. Okay, did anybody end up actually making a stop there under green? It looks like Hemrick, Cendric, Burton, a few others. Now, here's the other tricky thing: the way NASCAR does these cautions, that like at the short tracks especially, you're just quite frankly, you're better off spinning yourself being the yellow than coming down pit road and getting back out and losing 3 laps. If you spin under yellow and cause a yellow, you'll lose 1 lap. You pit under green, you'll lose 3 or 4. I mean, it's kind of a rude, I guess, or not a sporty thing to do to cause a yellow, but it's better for your own sake. Thanks for everybody watching. Make sure you drop that like button and hit subscribe if you haven't already. Laps continuing to wind down here. Yeah, classic Cindric. I don't even know, man. This race is just, it's entertaining, but not at the same time. We still have over a quarter of the race left, too. That's, oh boy. I'll be back in a second again. Oh, this race, guys, I don't even know what to comment. It's up and down, up and down. The Toyotas just need to get split up. That's all I know. I guess my hope at this point is now we go like 2 back-to-back 15-lap runs with yellow flags. Because after the first 15 laps, you'll see some people pit, and after the second, but you'll see some people stay out. And then on that second one, you're going to see the people that didn't pit the first time pit, and then they'll finally probably split things up. And Todd Gillen will be the free pass through all this, but the leader's coming down pit road. They've seen a fair amount of penalties today and a few collisions, so be careful on pit road now, ladies and gents. So now after this, you'll either have 1 or 2 sets left. And your hope would be we go green for about 60 laps and then put on that final set and you make it the final 60 laps. Hamlin's going to win the race off pit road easily, and then it's going to be Bell, Gibbs, and Larson. Then Truex, Keselowski, Blaney, Haley, Wallace, and I think McDowell. Man, Hamlin almost got the wall. I didn't even notice that. I have no idea where this race is going to go. I think in the final 50 laps, it's going to just become total mayhem. I know, yeah, nervous, Ned. It's like I'm not anti-Gibbs. If it was Hendrick, if it was Penske, if it was anybody at the front of the field and they were all just playing buddy-buddy, coasting to the finish, I don't want them to get split up. They're just able to kind of put it in cruise control, similar to when you're at a super speedway and you have your 4 teammates lined up at the front. They can just get single file, and then you can't really pull out and get big enough of a run to split them up. Same thing here. Checking out on the fantasy team now. Hey, we've moved up in the fantasy rankings, yes. Oof. Man, I'm just getting cooked in fantasy this week. Hey, it's not over yet. All five of my guys are still in the race. And I think three of them are in the top 10. Not great, not great, but it's been pretty chaotic. So yeah, now it's going to be Hamlin, Bell, Gibbs, Larson, Truex, Keselowski, Blaney, Haley, Wallace, McDowell. Top 10, then Nemechek, Jones, Barry, Gralla, Briscoe. Your top 15, Chastain, Bowman, Busher, Priest, Hosevar, the top 20, LaJoy, Austin Dillon, The Dinger, Elliott, Logano, your top 25, Bush, Suarez, Gilliland are all of your lead lap cars. Then Cindric and Hemrick are battling for the lucky dog. Then Gregson, Reddick, Harrison Burton, Stenhouse, all 2 laps down, I think, and Byron's 6 laps down. The Goodyear guy talking to the media right now is just like, oh crap, this has gone way different and way worse than we thought. Okay. I just see it so split on social media, and I think it's the difference between the people that realize the passing is like not real. It's just people. It's just certain people letting other people go, and the other people realizing that yeah, everybody's just coasting. Everybody's like a second a lap slower than they normally would be. The thing is, there are so many. Oh, bro, gosh, the term has left my mind. The tiny pieces of rubber that go up on the top of the racetrack. The not the scrap, not like the marbles. Yeah, I don't know why. The marbles are they're so packed in at the top of the racetrack. You can't even imagine trying to use that high line. And I mean, the tires themselves that come off these cars are just coated in marbles. Hamlin on the outside, Gibbs on the inside. Here we go. Oh, Larson must have got a penalty. Oh, you're kidding me. I didn't even notice that. Oh, well, that sucks. Now it's Gibbs cars 1, 2, 3, 4 again. Bell to the outside of Hamlin. This is for the lead. 120 laps to go. And Bell's trying to clear Hamlin. He led that line at the stripe. Oh, now he's up the track in 3 and 4. Gibbs is going to roll around him on the outside. And Justin Haley continuing to try and move forward. He's battling Ryan Blaney for 6th on the racetrack. Oh boy, Larson, that penalty just killed him. Oh, that's typical Bristol for Larson right there. Back to like the Ganassi days of getting a penalty or just something going awry. And Blaney's still getting held off by Justin Haley. Once again, we still have another run on this set where I think it's not the final run yet. You still got to be conservative with these tires. And even on the final run, you're going to have to be pretty conservative with the tires. The number's been 40 laps into the run. That's been the one that's, typically right about when you see the tires go complete garbage. So we're waiting until about 80 laps to go-ish, 80 to go, or lap 420. That's when we're waiting for the chaos to ensue. Coincidence? I think not. Now McDowell's using the high side. Ooh, him and Blaney are going to make some contact. I think that's on the 12th. But, all negligible, really. Now McDowell's going to run the outside of Haley. He's trying to pick off another spot. That's her 6th. Man, Jamie Little is sick. But she's continuing to be the pit road reporter. Yeah, that Larson's stuck all the way down in 27th, man. I'm interested to see if he can make up the ground or not. Hey, the spread across the top 10's already up to 3 seconds, though. So that does mean your leaders are pushing the pace somewhat. Going strong. Blaney getting passed by Bubba Wallace. Whoever it was in the chat that was rooting for Blaney, I thought he was going to be coming back forward, but on this run, he's dropped from, I think, 7th to, he's about to be back to 11th now. Hamlin up 2/10 on Gibbs. Another 2/10 to Bell. Truex, Gibbs is just running away with this race. Ty Gibbs himself and Gibbs the organization. The spread across the top 10 almost up to 4 seconds. But then from 10th to 20th, it's 1 second. Oh, looks like Blaney's really on the front straightaway. There we go. That might be our yellow flag. Okay, it sounds like Chastain gave Blaney the boot. So, yeah, now things are definitely going backwards for the 12th car. And the tires are going to be angry from that as well. They're going to a replay here. Ooh, Blaney got off the bottom a bit, and then Chastain. That was a really risky move right there, I'm not going to lie. Oh, man, Blaney almost cleared himself off the nose of Austin Dillon. He is in a very bad spot right now. Well, Larson's finally about to fight back into the top 20, but still just a long way to go, and he's having to use up his tires to do so. Meanwhile, we got a pass for the lead. Ty Gibbs to the inside of Hamlin. Bell's also going to try and follow through on this move to get up to 2nd. And you just got the Gibbs conga line at the front. 1, 2, 3, 4, man. Oh, boy. Hey, Jefferson Manchild. Man, yeah, thanks for oh, it's $5 super chat. Hey, I thought you just subscribed. No, thanks for the super chat, man. Appreciate it. Hey, wait, are you Jefferson Manchild? I just got a super chat. $5. Hey. Okay, hey, thanks. 100 to go. Wow, you just walked in at the perfect time. We might have a kind of a co-analyst joining us here. Another viewer, just to keep things interesting. If you want to get that chair, I guess.
I'm ready to watch cars turn left.
Yeah. Here. I'll sit kind of like right here. Anyways, Yeah, this is it's the Toyota Armada at the front of the field with Gibbs, Bell, Hamlin, and Truex at the front. Teammates running 1, 2, 3, 4. But 98 to go.
Has anyone run out of tires yet?
Nobody's run out of tires, and I don't think they will because
Really?
they've really toned it down in
You
terms
said
of like
driving safe.
yeah. So that's I don't know if you kind of heard what I was saying. Like a lot of people, I was looking around online because there's been some great battles throughout the day, but it's kind of like fake because people are passing each other, but it's not out of people like nobody's going full speed.
Right.
It's just certain people are saving more at different times. So it's not like they're actually battling.
Right.
Does that kind of make sense?
It's just like placement right now.
Yeah, well, like somebody went.
It's not all out.
Yeah,
yet.
somebody went from 25th to second in like 20 laps, but that's because they had like a fresh or they had a set of tires to burn. They had like a new strategy to get an extra set, and so it was like they were just going to be able to go around everyone because nobody's going to challenge them because they knew they would use up their own tires. So it's like there's battling, but it's not like genuine. But yeah, right now you're probably going to see a lot of people save tires, like a lot. Everybody's at the same point right now. I think everyone has 1 or 2 sets left right in that window, and with 90 to go, you should be fine. All right, the way things are going, you should be okay.
So then the speed should be increasing. They should be starting to ramp up their aggressiveness.
Well, it's going to be like you're going to be okay, so you're going to be able to like play it safe to the end. If you ramp up
you're okay being
so it makes
safe,
it almost
not okay
worse.
being
Yeah,
go.
yeah, but that's what almost makes it worse because everybody's just going to like kind of play it safe up until like the very end.
Right.
There's probably going to be about 40 laps into the run is like it's just the magic number that people are just all of a sudden the tires go.
Okay.
So, and usually it should be like 120
That's
laps.
That's a tight track. It's a small track.
Oh yeah, this is the second smallest track on the schedule, half a mile.
So that's up from the tires too.
Yes, but it's like the tires. It's a different like the compound itself changes race to race like each weekend. And so this weekend they experimented with a softer compound, which just means it falls apart faster. And the real problem is the tire hasn't like gone into the racetrack. So you see that black on the track? That's not actually rubber. That's like a sticky glue they put down.
Oh,
so,
to help. Okay.
To help get more tire or more traction and preserve tire wear. But usually black will go into the track on its own. That's just rubber. And that does it on its own, but the compound is soft, which means it burns faster, but it's also not getting absorbed by the track, which means it also just burns faster. So it's way too fast. They did also all get 1 extra set of tires, so that kind of helped.
They gave it to them.
Like they probably have like an extra, truck, and it was that bad. It was
like
that bad.
Like NASCAR said, you can have one more.
Yeah, like they have they probably
because the track isn't like the surface is not.
It's just not gonna. We know you're not probably gonna be able to make it to the finish because if they didn't give them one more, everybody would have 0 sets left or 1, and they can only go about 45 laps on a set, and it's 80 to go.
Oh, okay.
So
they're like
they did their own like kind of math and whatnot, and we're like, yeah. But with the tires still, actually, this is kind of funny. Like back in the day, there was a. You ever heard of Darlington? That's another track.
Mm-hmm.
The first times they were racing at Darlington back in like the 50s was a fresh asphalt surface, and it was really hot there when they ran, and it burned through tires so fast that the first time they went there, one of the teams that ended up winning the race, they ended up just taking the tires off their pickup trucks and putting them on their cars because they were so much more heavy duty, and that's how they won, and they ended up winning by 11 laps because. They didn't have to hit everything because they just had like a little like off-road tire, not an off-road tire.
How fast are these cars? These are small tracks, so they aren't getting up to speed very much.
Oh no, they're probably going like I don't know what the top speed on straightaway here, maybe like 140 on the straight.
That's not that much.
Yeah, and then like kind of slowing down to like a 90. I think the average is like 125 ish over the course of a lap. Yeah, right now it's really just like low key. I mean, nobody's like pushing the issue.
Right. Everything's spread out. It looks like too. Like,
but the thing is, and that it's like a bad spread out if that makes sense because everybody's saving. Like you see how that guy just blew by this POV.
Yeah.
Like POV didn't even contest.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't matter. And then with the passing though, like ever heard of lap traffic? What this
when they catch up to the next people.
That's what makes Bristol amazing because it's so small and it's so wide. So you can have so many different like choices on where to do lap traffic. But because one, it takes a few 20, 30 laps to get to lap traffic. When you're blowing tires at like lap 40, lap traffic is like never a factor. And since you're going easy, if you have a cushion, like the top 4 are teammates, so they're not really going to contest each other right now.
Oh wow, really?
Yeah. So.
And they're all a lap ahead of everyone.
Not everyone. Those guys, it's like you see how it's like ticking through.
Oh,
but they have like 2-3 seconds on the next guys. So when they catch the rear of the field, they don't necessarily have to lap them. They can just kind of coast.
Yeah, they can just
like
stay behind them and chill
so
until those guys get up.
Yeah, there's no incentive. That's what's made the race boring. Like that's what I'm trying to get. It's like there's like passes like that. That's a lap car. I think they have
why
damage.
Are they going so slow?
They have 80 to go though. 80 to go. That's what the number just clicked, and you're gonna see cars just start dying. Like, quite literally. People are just going to push too hard, or they have too much camber.
So why aren't they just going into the pits now, then, if they know that's going to happen?
Because they're hoping somebody else wrecks, and then they don't go into the pits because the track's it's so small.
So there's going to be a lot of yellow flags.
If you pit under green at Daytona, then you see, that guy just pitted. If you pit under green at Daytona, you lose maybe a lap because it's a 50-second lap. Here it's a 15-second lap. You lose 4 laps.
Oh, yeah.
So you'd rather just crash yourself, pretty much, than pit.
Yeah.
So that's why it's like, it's just not worth it.
What do they do?
Those are those. That's the rear of the field, and they have just died. The 38, certain car like too much camber.
What about 11?
The 11. Now that's the battle for the lead. Like, see how much slower he is. See how much slower they just like totally stacked
that
up.
That guy's like screwing with him now too.
What? Yeah. No. Now
38.
Yeah. Well, 38's a lap down. Like now he's going a lap down. Like that's not on purpose. He's just that much slower. Like the tires are.
You said the top 4 are all teammates.
Yes.
Oh, so they're just kind of like jostling.
Yeah, they're gonna.
They don't really care.
Yeah, they're like they care a bit,
but they don't want. It's the team.
Well, with like 25-30 to go, it won't be that case. But like right now, basically
cool.
They don't want to like take each other out and say, You see the 12? See how much he was in 10th place not too long ago. He must have just lost the tires. Like he's just like they're just pulling away. He's out of the camera shot in like 2 seconds.
So you're saying lose tires, like they just go so bad that they like lose friction. So
like quite literally, it's like they're like about to just blow a tire.
Oh,
and you see 24 just pitted. 24 just pitted, and he's 6 laps down, so it doesn't even matter.
Yeah.
Like, he had a problem early on in the race, but he's just gonna mow by everybody to see his fresh.
But that's
tires.
okay too, because if people wreck, then he's all of a sudden.
No, the 24 is like he's too far behind. But see the 12, like he's just.
Oh, maybe not.
I don't know. That was kind of weird there. But it's through the turn. You can't carry as much. Oh, that's somebody that pitted, and that is, like that's. I can't believe they pitted on our green because the thing is I would rather wreck myself, and just hope I don't hit the wall and lose 1 lap than pit under green and lose 4.
Right.
Because you can come back from 1 lap down. You cannot come back from 4 laps down. 70 to go. It's still okay. Kozlowski's up to 4th. That's a non-4th now. That's actually broken up. All the Toyotas at the front. See, he just snapped. Did you kind of see that? I think his tires are pretty much shot. And now this is the 11's the leader, and look at all this mess in front of him.
Denny Hamlin.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that.
All Larson's tires are shot. Oh boy, yeah, you can just see. Oh, his tires are so shot. They're just gonna look at. They're mowing by him. Here we go. Like, see, this is lap traffic though. Now it's more drastic than it'd usually be. But like, see how they're
Larson
having
went down to 20th.
Well, yeah.
He was the one who was in the lead, right?
Yeah, he was leading at one point. Yeah, but then the 11 and the 19, like they're that's the battle for the lead. You see the leaderboard.
Yeah.
And they are teammates, but they'll still, like, I mean, they're gonna battle each other a bit here. But like they're just see the 14. I mean, he is a mile off the pace.
Yeah.
Like they're just trying to survive and hope somebody else wrecks.
And is this going to happen to Hamlin then? That he does the same thing? That everything's just going to go bad and he's going to...
I don't know. The Toyotas seem to have figured it out. Early on, yes, it happened. Hamlin went from leading to crashing. Like, he didn't crash hard. He, like, just lost the tire and coasted up and hit the wall lightly. But, oh boy.
What happened?
Yeah, okay, they cut to it too late, but, I mean, you can see he's going 70 miles an hour. He's got a flat tire. See, they're passing 38 again. They just passed him like 2 minutes ago.
And he was up in the lead. I remember you talking about him earlier being in the lead. It was only half an hour ago.
So
4 to go.
This is
is that the lead that's going on right now?
Yeah, that's the lead on the left, the 11 and the 19. So
what's the 5 up on the top there?
Oh, I don't know. That is, I don't know why.
Maybe they're just showing you speed difference.
He put it under green, so I don't think you're going to see people pit under green, like the whole field. I think there's going to be a
Maybe
yellow before that happens. That, like, breaks it up. But, like, he might cycle out okay because he's going to get on. Oh.
Whoa, look at that tire. That tire.
Yeah,
really?
no, it's shot. They're, like, just totally shot. But he just got fresh tires. And see, he's just blowing by this dude.
Yeah.
He just pitted.
He almost lost it.
Yeah. But look at the whole field's almost. There was 25 cars on the lead lap, and now you see one lap down.
Yeah.
They're lapped into the top 10. They just figured out, like, some of it's in camber, in terms of, like, because camber's how the wheels tilted.
Yep.
So the more aggressive, maybe like the less contact area, so the more like pressure going into that one point on the tire. That could be helping them out. There's just such a myriad of things. Oh. You see, he's got a flat tire. He's got a flat tire.
Oh, yeah,
they just said, it's the right rear is the one that's been going down on most, so it's not in the camera shot. But you can see, there. And that's a Toyota though. That was one of the teammates. He was just in the top 4 when you came in the room.
So it just seems like
this is actually so weird.
I feel like
that's the
Hamlin
thing.
and Truex might have to pit.
Well, that's the thing. We've seen a yellow flag. That's the problem. As somebody's just actually wrecked it when they got on the flat tire the whole race up until this point.
Oh, and that's what they've been doing. That's what those yellows are for. Is that people have just been.
Yeah, so essentially it's like the same gap every time. You see that? And so if we don't have a yellow,
there's gonna
everybody will. And then they're going to be the ones caught out because they'll have run like see how slow they're going compared to him on fresh tires. See 12, he just rocketed by. Then they will actually be the losers because they tried to stay out as long as they were.
Yeah.
There's so much weird stuff going on. Now, I still think there'll be a yellow first because this is just weird. Like, I mean, the pace difference is huge.
Look at the time difference.
Yeah.
There's 8 seconds between first and fourth.
I mean, the 6 just left this guy. I mean, that's... Here, I can look at the telemetry. I don't want to look
go
at
back to that. I was looking at that earlier.
Look at it. So they're running 18 seconds, whereas the fresh tires are running, let's see, 16 seconds.
Wow.
2 seconds lap faster on an 18-second lap. That means over 9 laps.
You're lapping. Yeah.
So it's like, but now the 54, he's got a problem, and he was leading when you came in here.
Yeah.
He's got a flat tire. See, I just hope one of these morons doesn't wreck it,
right?
And then, because then it'll basically ruin the race. Because you'll have 6 cars left on the lead lap, and it'll basically just guarantee.
Well, look at the lap now. Only top 6 are within, and number 6 is about to get lapped as well because of the amount of the time that they're at.
Yeah. No, I just
feel like Hamlin's got to get in there.
Somehow it's like they're running. Well, theoretically, in terms of fuel, they can go 120 laps. So if they figured out a way to just baby it, even if they're going 2 seconds a lap slower, it might work out for them. Nemechek pitted, so that's from this might cycle out. Now, who's the first guy that's pitted now? If you're looking at the leaderboard, Barry pitted, the 4 car. I think that's the first car I know that's pitted. Oh boy! Oh, that was 11. No, the 11. Did you just see that? He tried to hit pit road from the lead and almost got ran over by second place.
Oh, his teammate.
There's so much going on right now. Like I can't even try to.
Look at the
he
tires.
pitted from the lead.
Yeah.
Now it's the 19 and the 6. Everybody's gonna have to pit. I'm shocked it played out in this way. Oh.
You see that?
Yeah, that's
cars.
That's brake rotors just burning. That's okay. It might actually get they said the rubber coming off the tire. I mean, look at how destroyed that is.
It's ripped in half almost.
Oh, the 77's way off the pace. Oh no, get to pit road, get to pit road, get to pit road. Please don't be the L here. Please don't be the L. Please don't be the L.
Well, isn't it a good thing for yellow now?
No, because it'll leave now the 6 is pitting, but it'll leave just 1 car on the track. Oh, the 19's got a lot of rubber.
Wow, yeah.
That only bad thing is if there's enough rubber that catches on fire, it can spread to other areas and then burn the whole thing. That is not really a problem. Look at the smoke
coming out of the right side of the tire.
That's the rotor. The rotors are like hundreds of degrees right now. So Bowman's the only guy that hasn't pitted.
And he's just in the lead. He's just
coasting. But now there's the 11 who just pitted.
So Hamlin did the right thing then.
Okay, I thought Hamlin might end up losing track position, but he's still the leader.
Yeah, he will be the leader.
Because
everybody pitted. Everyone just decided that no one's going to wreck, so they're all just going to pit.
Yeah, but I did not see that happening. The tricky thing is that, I was saying those Hamlin's going 2 seconds lap quicker, so you'd think the guys that pitted earlier were going to be able to make up enough time. Oh. I don't know what happened there with Kyle Busch. Okay, they might have. I don't know. Or I think he might have had a loose wheel.
He went early or something, and the guy got lifted up onto the hood.
Hey, Larson's back into fourth. It's through all that, even though he almost was a lap down.
Yeah.
Pitted, and then he pitted earlier than them. So
everyone else pitted.
he did make up time.
Yeah.
Through that.
But so now you said 40 laps is what it is. Hamlin pitted with 50 laps. So does that mean he has to pit again?
Or 40 laps is when it gets really bad. Like that's when all of a sudden things. Like, so they can make it now. They can make it.
Things are when it's bad. So do you think they pitted at that time expecting there to be another caution when things get really bad near the end?
No,
they can put some new tires on it?
The caution would have come during that whole last 5 minutes we've been talking.
Oh, I did at the end when they were going crazy trying to push for the lead.
Well, that might happen, but now they've gotten frankly, I thought they were gonna wreck. I did not think we were gonna go through a whole field pitting under green. That doesn't happen today. I didn't see that coming, and now that I don't think any team even saw that coming.
That's why they waited so long.
That's why they waited. So they were like, this isn't gonna happen. And now that somebody else still might wreck, but the thing is, because they did that, the field's spread up now. The top two are separated by 2 seconds, and it's 5 seconds, 7 seconds, 6 seconds, yada yada yada. Whereas before, when you first came in, the top 10 were separated by 2 seconds. So that that's just everybody is so confused right now. All the strategists did not see that coming.
Almost a lap between first and 10.
Yeah. And nobody saw that coming.
Laps on top. Oh, that's a cool thing. So Barry looks like he's going to have to.
Yeah, Barry came so soon.
Yeah,
Barry probably will not make it. Same thing with Larson. Larson's going to be close. I think he'll stretch. Now, I don't know, actually. That means he's going to have to go 75 laps. Yeah, Barry's not making it. But because of what he would lose from pitting, he might just run it until he blows the tire.
Yeah, and then hope that something happens.
Well, he might just be the thing himself. He might just not care. Because at this point, nobody else is going to pit again. So he's not going to get it's not like all of a sudden he's going to come out back in third. He's going to come out in 30th.
Yeah.
So it's it's a lose-lose scenario.
Was there any crashes that knocked a bunch of people out, or is it pretty?
No, it's just been this where it's just been clean, and then somebody blows one.
Is that rare? That big stuff doesn't happen, or is that?
That's rare. It's rare because, and the reason the big stuff doesn't happen is because nobody's really pushing.
Yeah. Oh, right.
Yeah.
Right.
Now everybody's pushing, but even then, we still have 40 to go. So it's nobody knows what to do.
Until there's 20 to go, and then people are going to start getting feisty.
But you still don't know because but also if you're the sixth and you're in third, you're 5 seconds behind the top two. Why push? Yeah. You're not going to make up that. Sadly, you're not going to make up that time.
Just hope you gotta just wait and see if there's
a
caution or something that can get you back to close.
Also, I don't even know if anybody has another set. I think a few people might have one. Or they'll probably have a set of scuffs, which is just a set you use for a short amount of time. So it's better than what you have currently, but not fresh. This is so confusing. This is
you never seen anything like this.
I've genuinely never seen anything even close to this. It's just kind of weird. And I'll probably never see something like this again. Because, usually I've never seen them go this aggressive in a soft tire.
This aggressive in a soft tire?
Well, that, not in terms of the driver, but I just mean in terms of the tire being this soft where it's 40 laps you have to pit. At Bristol, you can go 120 laps. That's usually what it is. So you have to pit 3 times as frequent.
And that's because of the tire or because of the surface that it's on?
The tire. Well, both, but the tire primarily.
So why did everyone choose this tire? Or is it regulated?
It's regulated.
Oh, so they can change how the race goes by the tire type and by the...
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting. There's a lot of people there.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
And it's honestly not that big for Bristol standards, but it's still a big crowd because Bristol can hold 200-some thousand people.
Oh, really?
So, that's more than any NFL arena. So even when it's you can see it's pretty sprinkled in from that aerial shot, but if it's 25-30% full, that's still 75,000 people. Actually, the biggest college football game attendance was hosted in Bristol. They just turned the infield into grass.
I remember that. Yeah, it was a playoff game, right? Championship game of some sort.
I think it was a bowl game. I don't remember.
They were real close there to that number 9 car.
Mm-hmm. Oh, this is the battle for lead. I didn't realize the 19 reeled into 11. He was 2 seconds back. I didn't even notice that. This is the battle for the win, and they are teammates. But from here on out, I think they're going to be going at each other.
You think? So you don't think there will be anything more from 6 car? You're just too far away.
It's too far back. Too far back.
All right.
7 seconds is half a lap. This is it. Or seeing if the 4 car blows a tire. That's
Right.
or just people wreck each other. And the 19, I believe, went a few laps longer than the 11, if I'm correct. So he should have, in theory, like a fresher tire than the 11.
By a few laps.
By a few laps. So not worth too much, but
still something.
But if it, like, you see how big the fall off is, if all of a sudden the 11 hits that wall on like 3 to go, then
it's done for.
Yeah, it's done for.
Maybe if it were to hit the black, like that black different material that kind of puts the tire at a different angle.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's like the apron is what it's called. It's like the flat section. Okay. Yeah. There was a wreck caused by that earlier.
It's just chaotic now too because
there's all these that's the thing, the lap traffic. It's like that's what makes it interesting when they're like they have to pick a different line every time.
Yeah.
Now the thing is though, everybody's still having to be like kind of conservative or doesn't know what's going on, so the lap traffic really can't put up much of a fight. So it's not going to put the leaders in too much of a predicament. But still, they have to go up on the high side of the racetrack, which is where they don't want to be. The inside's the fastest, so. The real bad thing is when you catch 2 lap cars side by side, because then you have nowhere to go.
Yeah.
I mean, this race has been so crazy.
You ain't chats?
I don't know. I was going to check, but, wait, this song. We're got Blaney, special guest cameo right here. Checkers the records tonight. Oh yeah, wow, okay. And Goodyear Tire Gate.
Oh, do they have a sponsor?
What?
Is that like a
Goodyear's like the brand. Yeah, I have no idea where this thing's gonna go. 24 to go. I mean, these laps are 15 seconds.
Oh, and Hamlin won the last one.
Oh yeah, Hamlin's good here. Hamlin's really good here. But see how you got held up by the 3 there?
Yeah. Now look at 18. I mean, half the field, and you're already 2 laps back.
Yeah. 5 laps. I mean, 3 laps. I mean, this is like...
Is that last place?
That's not even last.
Holy cow.
So
8 laps.
8 laps. That guy had a problem.
There's only 36 total cars in this.
Yeah.
Oh, that's not a lot. Okay. I guess it can't be when this feels as small.
No, that's just what the new standard is 36.
Oh,
it used to be 43.
Oh, okay.
But it's gone down to like quote increase the value of 1 spot, which has kind of worked.
How do you qualify to get in?
Oh, there's multiple factors. I'll explain that like I could talk about it for like 5 minutes.
20 laps.
There's 20 laps, and that's literally if it goes green, that's 5 minutes because it's 15-second lap. I mean, I haven't seen Barry, the 4 car. He's still 7 seconds off the lead, so he's not falling off yet.
And Keselowski has not made any gain.
No headway.
He's not made any gain on the leaders. He's still 7 or 6 seconds back.
Mm-hmm. Now they're lapping 10th place, the 48. And really, actually, a whole bunch of the leaders are about to go lap down. The 51, that blue car.
Oh!
See, like this is what, see how the leader's stuck though? There's nowhere for him to go here.
Little nose action almost caused him to spin out. Oh, and more nose action down below.
And then see 3 wide. Like if the 3 got stuck there,
and like 1911, they're all just
they're right here,
right by each other, kind of stuck.
Oh, the 11 got up. He missed the apex.
He did.
No, side by side. Truex has got the opportunity.
Lead, yeah. There it is.
And now
Truex has 1 less lap on his tires than Hamlin. I just saw.
Oh, okay.
So not pretty negligible.
But look at in front of him. See that? Like it's just a mess. See now the 11's going to go to the hop side, but now the 3 moved up. See, there's nowhere to go. And the 38, it's that slow dang 38 again. There's nowhere to go. Like look, the 11 now the 11's stuck. Yeah,
9 cars are all in a big bunch, just hanging out. There you go, 2 wide.
And these guys are still battling for position right ahead of them. They're 3 wide just ahead now.
Yeah. Hamlin's going to go for it. Oh, and he gets...
But now he's stuck behind the 23.
He's stuck behind a 23, yeah.
And does 19 squeak to the inside of the 1? No, he doesn't have a run like that. Oh, okay, so 23 will just clear high. Oh, boy. He might have blown a tire.
He might have blown a tire.
Okay.
Truex is way down on
15.
On the
oh, man, he just gave it back to Hamlin there.
Why would he have let off so high?
Well, he's stuck behind the 1. That's the problem. Chastain.
He was ahead of the 1, though, before that happened.
I don't think he was.
Oh, okay.
Or he might have just gotten pinned behind another slow.
Now he's coming back into it. Now he's got to gun it to get back.
But now the 11's got these 2. They're still side by side ahead of him. So like the 19's just going to pick it up right here again.
Yes,
They're
look at that,
stuck.
how tight they are.
He has
Yeah,
nowhere
he's
to go.
stuck.
He has nowhere to go. So it's picking the right lanes. Now there's 20 teammates to both of these guys, so I don't think he's going to try and, like, you see, like, he kind of just gave up.
Yep.
He doesn't want to, like, mess it up for him.
Are you recognizing that, like, mid-race, that this guy's, like,
yeah.
there?
Oh, boy. The 11. See how much he got pinned up on top of the 3, and the 3's missing the bottom. The 3's tires are shot. Also, the 4 is now 11 seconds behind. His tires have just fallen off. He just lost 4 seconds in the last few minutes.
Oh, yeah.
11 to go, though. Like, it's just clicking by. Now they're going to get by Austin
19's
Dillon in the 3.
Get stuck.
Time's running out for sure. And it looks like the track cleared up in front of them a little bit. They sifted through a few of the really slow ones.
More of a one-on-one battle, a little closer there.
A little closer, but still, like, if you just catch one guy slow for a second.
5.
I know, yeah. Now they're going to go around the 42, who's in 8th position.
Caution right now. Something's going to happen.
I don't know. I don't think it's going to happen.
You don't think the bottom people like jousting, or are they just
They are, but they're
That's
not
what I'm
jousting. Like, I don't think they're going to joust that hard. I think at this point they're like, just like, what the hell? I want to get out of here.
Okay. Long race.
Yeah, the 17. This is like almost 4 hours since the start now. Now Barry's really dropping now. The leader's actually about to catch him, I think. He should be right there, the 4, right there.
So
he's gonna try and coast to the finish. If he
six cars,
like, see how much slower he is, they're just gonna blow by him. Even the slow cars are gonna blow by him. Now he blows the tire. Oh, see, like, that's the tires are gone. He has no traction. You see, I just slid off the bottom.
I totally missed it. I was watching the leaders.
He might just wreck right here.
Well, look, they're
just highlighting that he's gone 66, which is longer than anybody else.
Yeah. So now what? They got about 4 car lengths of difference between the leader and second place.
6 to go. I mean, this is like we got 90 seconds left.
Up, or is far enough?
I don't know if the 19's going to be able to make up the ground. I mean, he's got 2 lappers in front. They're side by side ahead of him now.
Yep, he's going to get stuck here.
Stuck for a little bit.
Here we go.
5 to go.
1 car length.
Oh, I see the 19's twitching a little bit.
Yeah, it certainly is not rounding those turns like he could. He used like a car length out, and he didn't have to be. To the right.
You see how the 47 just shot up the track a little bit ahead of the leaders? Like, that's like his tires are gone. It's going to be 3 to go.
19's wobbling a little bit as he drives.
I think it's over. I mean,
4 to go?
4 to go.
Here we go.
3 to go now.
Oh, never mind.
He's so slow. Yeah, like that's worse than 19. You see?
I think 19's just going to be content with second place.
I don't think he's. Well, I mean, there's nothing he can do. He's like he's so far back. It's not like he can just. If he goes full throttle, he's just going to wreck. It's not like 2 to go.
Oh, yeah, but now he's losing time on him too.
Mm-hmm.
Actively losing time on first. This is
but he just might have like his tires just might be gone. Like it's.
But
I think Hamlin's got it.
He's got to hold on though, because third place is still 8 seconds behind him. So he's got second place locked up.
Yeah, he's like that's his last lap. This is it. Hamlin's got it.
Wow.
Unless he just blows a tire.
Wins by half a lap on pretty much on everyone.
Besides second place, I've never seen a race like this in my life. Look at 19 just bailed. He just bailed entirely.
Oh, did he?
Did you see that?
Look at the time.
Like,
wins by a second.
You see how much? You see all that marbles at the top? You see all those little black specks? That's all the chunks of rubber that have gone off. I've never seen that much. That's all the debris that's just come off the tires.
So there it is. Hamlin wins it.
Hamlin wins. This is like the weirdest race in my life. Guys, in the chat, let me know like what you thought about the race. If you're giving it like out of 10, I'd give it like a 6 or a 7. I mean, it was chaotic, but like, I don't know. I don't want to see another race like that. Or at least they need to supply him with more tires so it's not like everybody's coasting.
Yeah, they aren't able to be aggressive. It's not as fun to watch.
Yeah.
There it is.
I mean, it's Hamlin, Truex.
That's foul play.
No, that's like okay.
Yeah.
Truex, Keselowski, Bowman. Hey, I'll take a top 5 as a Larson fan.
There you go.
Nemechek, Buescher, Elliott, Gibbs, Bell. I'm gonna see. I'm gonna get good underdog finishes here. Nemechek is a solid result with 6th. Where did the Rick Ware cars end up?
2 Toyotas, first and second.
Yeah, and then
the Ford really broke it up a little bit. Ford was a bunch of Toyotas at the top.
No, I know. Yeah, it was Toyotas all near the front. They kind of got messed up on the end.
Chevy did not have a good finish either. A good day today either.
Oh, Chevy was really not that good.
They couldn't figure out their tires.
Yeah. Dang, Rick Ware Racing. That's tough for them. They're 2 underdogs.
I mean, really, Ford probably had the best outing overall.
Yeah.
They had 5 or 6 or 7 of their cars in the top 15.
Yeah, and Toyota though. Toyota definitely is the winner of the day. They have 5 in the top 9
Yeah, if it's
or
cross
top
country,
10.
they win the meet. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Here goes. Whatever left of Hamlin's tires are now burned into the.
I want to see if he. No, I won't do it here. They showed some fan gave him like a zucchini and told him like Chuck cut it up if he wins or something. Which that'll be like way post race if he ever does that. I don't even know where we race at Coda next week. That'll probably be pretty good. We have a few road course runners in there, and he's burning this one down. Hamlin loves Bristol. I want to see if we hear any boos. He was booed big time in the fall when he won.
Really?
Oh, Hamlin's the top op. But
really?
The Netflix series, there's a Netflix series. Did I tell you about that?
No.
They made a Netflix like behind BTS, like
Hamlin?
of the series, and like Hamlin just ended up kind of being the main character.
Yeah.
And so if there are like any new fans, like a lot of new fans are like kind of like Hamlin's like their guy.
Oh.
He also is like best buds with Michael Jordan. So.
Oh, okay. Top off.
Mm-hmm. No, he's top op. I actually kind of I like the antagonists that are in the sport, but
I can't believe there's anything left of those tires.
well, you can burn them up for a while, but
Good looking car.
yeah. The cameraman almost got in there.
Yeah.
Sounds like there's a lot of cheers right now. We'll see when he gets out of the car, though.
Oh, cheers.
Right? Huh? Okay. It's actually
There
pretty
you
mixed.
go. Commentator just said either
Yeah.
cheer for him to win or cheer
Well,
for
you know
anyone
what?
else. Oh,
Now-
there's the boozer.
Now they're coming in. Well, he goes through on social media when he wins, and he.
Oh, is he like gloat?
Well, he's number 11, and he'll go through. Whenever somebody gives him the double birds, he just says they're giving him the 11. So he'll go through on social media like the photo of him right now, like up against the fans. He'll just he'll zoom in and find all the people giving him the double birds. He'll be like, thanks for all the 11s being shown out today.
One of the wildest Bristol races we have ever seen, Danny. You find a way to get the job done, get your second in a row here at Bristol. How did you manage those tires all day long and still have enough left at the end to hold off your teammate?
Yeah, it's just that's what I grew up doing here in the short tracks of the whole Mid-Atlantic. So South Boston, Lawrenceville, all those tracks. Just this is what I grew up doing. So once it became a tire management race,
Actually, a
He
decent
looks
amount
like
of
a
cheers.
top off.
but,
Yeah.
Obviously, the veteran Mark, he knew how to do it as well, and so we just had a great team. The pit crew just did a phenomenal job all day. Can't say enough about them.
I actually think Blaney's starting to get Hamlin's starting to get fans just because of being the bad guy, somewhat.
Jordan Brand,
Yeah, people
But-
like rooting for that.
that group just, man, it's just so good to win Bristol.
Denny Hamlin wins a wild
2
one.
times.
Yeah, it's pretty mixed.
Yeah, that's a
definitely,
mixed crowd.
definitely a lot more cheers though than usual. I will say
Where's he
that.
going? Oh, he's grabbing the
Yeah.
flag.
What was it like for you managing your
All right. Well, thanks to everybody who tuned in here today. You know what? Comment on if you want Andy back, and maybe we can do
I like
that.
cars turning left.
Yeah.
What can I say?
Yeah.